Testing, 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 1, 2, 3. Okay, everyone, welcome back to another Friday night live stream here at Christ-Centered Ironworks. In this stream this evening, not only will we be doing another giveaway, and this will be our first giveaway live stream of the year, but we will also be announcing what the year of is going to be in this new year of 2023. So I hope everybody had a great Christmas and a happy new year. As you can see, we still got decorations up because it is Christmas here until the leaves are green, okay? Again, and that's the way it'll stay.
June.
Which it is June. So again, you might notice a little different layout this evening. This evening, I'm going to be doing a lot of projects under the Treadle hammer kit, and I'll get to why here in a little while. And but we will also be doing some giveaway things as well, of some of our great blanks and some tooling. And then I also have a very special item that was sent to me by Blacksmith, and I am going to take and show that off. That is going to be part of next month's giveaway live stream. So I hope you all can attend that there. So who all do we have this evening, Jessica?
Sure. We have Old Massey Ferguson, Katana Guy, Kyle Jones.
Hello, hello.
Jeffrey Brewster, Dustin T, Possum Sausage, Ben
Hey.
Toombs, Milky Toast, JT80, Quack 6.
It's just fun to listen to her have to read out your guys' screen names. It amuses me each and every time.
Mm-hmm.
So as you can see, like I said, I have a little different layout, and welcome everybody who's joined us. Remember to tag us out there, share it with friends, get more people into this whole deal, and welcome to all the channel members and our repeat subscribership that keeps coming back to these things. So I've got the little Mr. Volcano gas forge running real nice and close over here, kind of keeping me a little too warm. I might have to shed this coat here in a minute. But I've got it set up really close to my Treadle hammer kit, and I'm sitting on a stool. So you might be asking yourself, Roy, why all this? Are you just trying to sell Treadle hammer kits? Yes, I am. In fact, I am trying to sell Treadle hammer kits. You can get those over our website, www.blacksmithingblanks.com. Be sure to go check that out. But I have been having some problems with my feet here recently and some health issues. So quite painful for me to be standing for long periods of time, which blacksmithing usually requires. So I'm taking it easy, and I'm going to hopefully show how you can still get work done if you have the aid or the assistance of a machinery like this in your own shop. And what a perfect time to do it, because again, my feet ain't having it this evening. So so that's why I'm sitting on this stool.
That's right. It's very handy for that purpose.
Yeah, it is. Oh, no joke, I got to get rid of this jacket though.
Yeah, right.
Oh.
Yeah, I did notice it does put off a decent bit of heat around it.
It does put off quite the heat, so.
Justin Ray, thank you for the $5 super
now.
chat.
Huh?
Said Justin Ray, thank you for the $5 super chat. Says for shipping costs, God bless.
Thank you, Justin Ray. So greatly appreciate that. To let you know how much heat I'm getting heated by right now. It's like currently, what was it, 8 degrees? I think it's supposed to be tonight.
I think so, yeah.
And it's pretty much that. We've been getting a north wind all day, and so if I step away from this, the shop's pretty cold. You guys can see my breath. It's pretty cold in here, but something about the winter weather's hit me. My winter blood is in now, finally. So.
I just realized I didn't leave this inside. Should I run and go put it down, or is it not a concern?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. So.
Just check it.
All right. So this evening we got a bit of a sampler, little sampler platter. What are we getting into? Well, the first thing I'm going to get into this evening, we go to camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
I'm going to get into some of these flower hook blanks. I'm going to make a little set of 3 and put them on like a nice burnt board for the shop to sell through my own Etsy store. So I'm going to make a set of 3 of those. I probably won't go through the whole thing. I'll probably just make one, and you guys will get the gist. That's how all 3 will eventually turn out. But so I've got these to make, and these come as a kit over on our website, and they get assembled by a singular rivet up at the top to attach the bloom to the flower stem. and they make a really great Mother's Day gift. That's coming up. Valentine's Day, that's coming up. Stuff like that. So I'm going to make up some of those. Hopefully that'll sell well all over the website, especially on our Etsy store. So I'm going to make up a set of 3 of these at some point. But what I'm going to do instead is I'm just going to make up one so you guys can see how I'm going to do that, how I'm going to go about making those. I'm going to set some of these aside for there. The next thing on the docket of things to do is I'm going to be making, over the next several live streams, over the next few weeks, I'm going to be making up a rose sculpture. So I'm going to be using our very own rose blanks that we offer over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. I'm going to be making some a rose sculpture out of these, so I hope everybody will enjoy watching that. It'll have a lot of forging to do in it. I'll have to do some welding off camera to get things attached, and then, you know, do some final tweak and, you know, obviously bloom the roses and show how to forge the pipe and all sorts of good stuff. Basically, it's going to be some roses in a vase. So be sure to check that out. And if we get to it, I plan on taking one of our basic bottle opener blanks that we have, and I plan on forging a little bottle opener out of that. And who knows, we might even give that away next stream or something like that. So, or at the end of this stream. Who knows how it goes. All right.
Let's see, Thomas here sent a $2 super chat. He says he wants me to say the website in my best announcer voice. So I'll give it my best, Thomas. It won't be as good as yours. You can get blanks at www.blacksmithingblanks.com.
Oh, all right, well, I'm gonna pull this out. Thank you everybody for being here. Thank you, Thomas, for that super chat, brother. Greatly appreciate it. For those of you who don't know Thomas in the shop, Thomas works with me. I guess you could say effectively he is my apprentice here in the shop. And yeah, we have a lot of fun time forging together. All right. So I've already started one of these, and I'm going to use a top fuller tool. I'm going to use a top fuller tool to put in these side veins, and I've already used it to put in some center grooves. You'll be seeing this tool a lot. I like using it quite a bit. See that okay, Jess?
Yeah, that works.
Or is the light
good.
too blinding?
Yeah, just kind of shift it back and forth and it highlights it real good.
Can they see that all right?
Uh-huh.
Huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Sully sent us a $10 super chat and says, Roy's voted the best sit-down blacksmith of 2023 by the International Keyboard Blacksmith Association.
I doubt that. I doubt that indeed, very much so.
The International Keyboard Blacksmith Association sounds like it should be a thing.
I will be very well known, won't I?
Uh-huh. Bar Run Forged in the member chat that said it's hard on the feet to hold up all that greatness.
Say what?
It's hard on the feet to hold up all that greatness.
Yeah, lots of greatness in this one, so.
Let's see, VKG Hunter said this bottle hunter blank is cool, or the bottle opener blank is cool.
Yeah.
It's a new ad, I think, about 4 months ago.
Yeah, it's been about 4 months having it that we've been offering it. So, in case you're wondering, Jessica's sitting like right over here. She's closer to Olga. I don't know if anybody can see Rusky in the background or not, but
What's Rusky? Oh.
Rusky.
Oh.
My tractor. No, they can't really see it, can
I see.
they?
Not really.
They can't really see it.
Well, I think there's some white reflect.
Yeah.
No. Oh no, it's reflecting.
Oh
off the
well,
toolbox.
that'll be a subject for another video.
Yeah.
At some point in time. So.
Debaka Maker says you're doing a Glenn GS Tongs video style. LOL.
Yep, doing it Glenn GS Tongs style. Can't ask for better than that.
JT80 says any jingle or sleigh bell blanks in the works? We
need to put them on the website. So yes, there is. We've got a pattern for them. We just haven't released them.
We haven't tested it yet, I think.
Well, I know the pattern will work. I have tested the pattern. It's just we have neglected to put that up on the website. So Jingle Bell blanks, just
Yeah, I
large
wrote it.
and small.
Yeah.
We will get those on the website in the next month or so. Promises. Let's go to number 2, please.
All right.
And we shall continue this craziness.
Milky Toast. The stream will run approximately to 7 p.m., so about another hour and a half.
Rotate. As I'm forming this, I'm slightly tilting this to the outside because I want it to kind of taper or flare a little bit or trail off as it gets up towards this center vein slot. It's a technique I like to use when I'm doing stylized leaf work like this or bloom work. I find that it's the handiest to take and do it that way. Go. I find it's handiest to do it that way to give it that little bit of lean out, and it just spreads the outer material quicker than what it does up by the center vein, and it really gives it a really nice look to it. Almost gives it some flowing or flutteriness, if you will. So hopefully you guys like that. I think you said something to me, honey, but when I turned, my ears completely deafened off by the gas.
I was just talking to the audience.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see, we have a couple of super chats. Apple Ironworks, $5, says to help with the giveaway, and thanks for the stream.
Hey, thank you very much, and thank you for the super chat.
Also, Rigid Ironworks with $25 super chat says, Happy New Year, guys. Thanks for all you do.
Happy New Year to you, and you're very welcome.
Possum Sausage said, any interest in doing knife blanks?
What's that?
Possum Sausage says, any interest in doing knife blanks?
I won't be doing them, but I have no problem selling them, other than I will probably make the knife makers in the community even more angry-fied at me.
That's right.
Oh.
Let's see, Blake asked if we could repeat the giveaway instructions. You go ahead and I can tell him.
All right, you go to camera 2?
Yep. Yes, so in order to enter our live stream today, to enter the giveaway today, the main item, the largest one, is only open in the USA to people 18 and older. And just because of the shipping cost would be high, to try to ship it internationally. And then the additional blanks that we're giving away, all the side items like stickers and anvil hooks and the bottle openers and all that, that's all open internationally. So I do have a full write-out of, how to claim your prize and what the rules are down in the description below.
My foot pedal keeps running away from me on the gravel.
Oh, yeah.
And that's why, I was having a little hard time controlling it there for a second because I'm wanting to tap it a certain way, but every time I tapped it, it moved back like an inch.
Oh.
I need to find a bigger board to secure the foot treadle to here in the shop.
Robert Buckley says, does look kind of funny just seeing this hammer pop in and out of frame.
It does, don't it? It's like, where's that coming from? Is Thomas there? Is Thomas there?
Kyle Jones says, look at all the flux in the background.
All that flux. come on, you. Stop moving, pedal. I've got to anchor that thing before the next live stream.
Yeah.
You know it?
Yeah, that would help, huh?
That way it stops messing with my stroke.
Right.
Because it's like I got a feel for the pedal each time.
Uh-huh.
All right, that one's done.
VKG Hunter says, why don't you work with a hand hammer for this kind of work?
Oh, I can. I can do that, but why? Can you see that okay?
Yep, sure can.
So if you want to try to work with a hand hammer, you can do a hand hammer. But the thing what you're going to have to do is you're going to have to balance the leaf on the anvil, okay? And then it's not impossible, but then you're going to have to use your tong hand and punch to hold that down while you strike with your other hammer hand. Being able to use a treadle hammer or something of the like allows you to free up both hands. So now you can get your fine motor control to manipulate your piece back and forth, and you can manipulate your tooling back and forth, and then just take a strike on your piece. Versus you having to, it's kind of similar to working with a striker. You get to direct the operation. You just don't have to sweat over the operation. Hence Roy's big old fat butt sitting here using a treadle hammer kit and then swinging at it. There we go. Mm-hmm. So there's that portion there. Now I gotta change up.
Robert Buckley says the angle of the hammer looks like you might have a dwarf off to the side.
Might have a what? A dwarf?
A dwarf. Dwarf striking for you.
There might be a dwarf somewhere in the shop. You never know. They're awful small and tricky like.
Let's see here. Super chat from Bjorn at Bears Den Forge.
Say what?
$10 super chat from Bjorn at Bears Den Forge.
Thank you, Bjorn.
Says, recently celebrated my first year in business as a self-employed blacksmith. Couldn't have done it without the things I've learned from y'all. Thank you from the bottom of my heart.
Everybody give Bjorn a round of applause right there. Everybody give Bjorn a round of applause for making it 1 year as a fully self-employed blacksmith. That's a hard milestone to get to. There's a lot of people never get that far. Oh, congratulations, Bjorn, and thank you for the support, brother, with the super chat. I need to put a bigger anvil over here, you know?
Yeah, that'd help. After you're used to working on Olga.
Oh, I did it. Yeah, that was that broken one. I totally forgot.
What was broken?
Oh, I broke my tong thing. Oh. I had a crack in my little tong ring, and then I hit it with this, and then it snapped it off.
Gotcha.
I forgot to be genteel-like with it.
Mm-hmm.
Don't need this extra glove. It's kind of hindering some of my dexterity. All right.
Thomas in a member chat says, Roy would love to have a little person in the shop. He must know the story.
Oh, I'm sure he does.
Duke Snyder says, love your feather blanks. They are very popular with my customers.
Awesome. Good to hear. Are we ready to go camp number 2?
Uh-huh.
All right, so I got a little Holland anvil. It's like a little miniature swedge set up here underneath the hammer. We'll set this over and we'll put the center depression in. Just like so.
Castle Forge, that is a 66-pound Chayo anvil.
Put that back in there. Do it on the deeper side, on this 3-inch side. There we go. Just like that. Now I'll heat this up and I'll go over the horn and I'll dress out that a little bit. We can move that Holland anvil switch block out of the way again.
Gregory North says, do you still have your Crossfire CNC plasma table?
Yep, that is what I cut all my blanks with. I will be upgrading this year, hopefully, to a much more professional unit. For all the goods and bads with the Crossfire, the one thing I can say about it is, you know, it's held up to everything I've done with it so far. It's kind of like an old piece of equipment. It's a new piece of equipment, but it's like an old piece of equipment, an old tractor or old car, right? You can't just hop in it and drive it. You kind of have to do maintenance on it as you go, and you kind of have to work with it and work with all of its quirks and inconsistencies to get it to do what you want it to do. But if you find that to be fun, then there's no problems with that whatsoever. I, however, want something that I could just fire up, you know, I could just click on and we run without any problems, and maybe maintenance it or service it once a month versus kind of daily, like you have to work with these things. So go to camera number 2, Jess.
Yep.
All right, we're gonna go over the horn. I don't have any texture out on the very tips of these pedals, so I'm not concerned about knocking out the texture on it. I'm just worried about getting her curled back a little bit. Look pretty good, babe?
Yeah, sugar.
Know what other people think of that?
Looking pretty good. Somebody asked if you know what size the hardy hole is in that anvil.
On my anvil?
Yep.
This is a 5/8 inch hardy hole. So they're pretty small. All right, well there's the pedal for my hook thing done. So I'll set that down to the side, out of the way.
All right.
Not really set up. I thought about putting up a table. Are we at camera 1?
Yep.
I thought about putting up a small table here, so this way I could just set stuff, or set it off, just set a table over here to the left, which would probably make more sense. And then that way I would have a table to, you know, work off of, and set all my various tools for doing this kind of work. It's something worth considering if you're gonna do a lot of sit-down work, is to have something close at hand for you. All right, so I gotta straighten up this, flatten out this hook portion here.
All right.
Good. Now you may be wondering yourself, why go through all the effort to straighten that out and flatten it out, take a lot of texture? Really, I want texture because this is a modern look, or I'm going for a more modern home and modern taste. Modern taste, like really crisp, clean lines and not a lot of heavy forged texture or things like that. You can put a lot, I always like to leave a little something there, just so you can tell break that surface up a little bit, but this will fit in a more modern home versus like a rustic cabin or things like that. Sometimes if you have a product that you're working with, say if you're trying to make this product and it's not selling, well, you might be forging too rough. Remove your hammer marks, shine up some things, polish some leaves, and all of a sudden you move like more than you can possibly keep up with. So sometimes it just requires you to get the right style down with the same product. I found that with a lot of things, you know. There's certain things like, you know, when I first got started in blacksmithing, my work would have been more worthy of rendezvous, so to speak. You know, people trying to play historical, and so therefore, even though it wasn't historical, but they wanted stuff to look old in appearance. They wanted to look pitted or have roughness to it, or be more, just be more rustic, right? Well, if you're trying to cater to home decorating, oftentimes people don't want stuff that's heavily textured. It clashes with the modern homes nowadays. So you kind of have to make your work look more elegant, more clean, more pristine, almost manufactured, but with just a hint, a subtlety about it that is forge work. And so it's worth looking into that, especially if you've made a product and you were all hot about it and you're like, man, why hasn't this thing sold off the shelves? Like, you know, why haven't I sold 1 million of these things? It may not be the product at all. It just may be that you just have to change one little element to it, and that's what gets it to start selling off and going off the chain. So
JT80 says, do you adjust the angle, the strike angle of the hammer, or is it set in one spot?
So the strike angle of the hammer, are they seeing it from the main cam here? So the strike angle of the hammer is completely adjustable. I have this set up really high, and it's kind of at too big of an angle. I really should have moved it up, but I wanted to do double duty tonight. I want to be able to flatten things at multiple different heights. I want to be working this size tooling. I want to be able to be working on drawing material out. So I set it with a pretty heavy angle, the hammer here. This is what's great about my air hammer, you know, my treadle hammer kits, the way that I sell them, is they have almost infinite adjustability. You have 3 different posts, 3 different places that the back of the pivot point can be pinned in at to ensure that you get a level hit on tooling. So say if all your tooling in your shop is 6 inches tall, you can literally set this kit up from the get-go to hit perfectly square at 6 inches tall. You can do that. Well, 6 inches plus whatever you normally work underneath it. Then you can adjust it up or down from there. You can add links of chain or take out links of chain to it. You can put in heavier hammers into the kit and up. Just the only thing you have to increase is the spring, the amount of spring that you have, spring tension to pull the hammer back up. The air cylinder doesn't care whether this is a 50-pound head, a 100-pound head, or a 2,000-pound head. Doesn't matter. All the air cylinder does is overcome the spring tension of the spring, just like your foot would. And it's designed so this way you can use it manually as well, same way. So that's the benefits of my design, and I will say my design of treadle hammer kits. There hasn't been, to my knowledge, anything like this, period. So this was designed from the scratch, from the ground up, from over a decade of working in shop with tooling and knowing what I want and what I think others could benefit from. And it's a complete bolt together kit. So there's no welding involved. You just take the thing and you bolt it all together in your own garage with some wrenches. Mm-hmm. Not too bad. Let's go to the anvil, Jess.
Sure.
All right, we're gonna work on the center vein of these leaves.
Steve, to answer your question, Steve Starlin, normally the treadle hammer kit is $500.
I got that off. I should have been sure about that one before I did it. I got that off. So,
Character.
I'll just give that to one of my kids. That one won't be a seller, but oh well. That's what happens. You get too big for your britches, huh?
Uh-huh. Quack6 wants to know how that anvil's holding up. He wants to get one.
This anvil here,
Yep.
well, I've made a ton of videos on it, and I've recommended it at least 100 times. So I would say it's holding up pretty good. And it is now my, there you go, cold, look at that. Nice, huh?
Uh-huh.
It's held up to 8-pound sledgehammer strikes for multiple hours on end. Thomas has used this thing on several of our products that we sell over at my Etsy store almost exclusively to put in all the details and things. And it's holding up really, really well. So, because what, I've had this anvil for what, a year, 2?
Since the year of the anvil, right? That was,
Yeah, 2 years, eh?
2020.
Was it 2020?
I think so, yeah. 'Cause last year was year of the
So
forge.
3 years
well,
then.
2 years ago was year of the forge, because we did year of the anvil, then year of the forge, and then we have this year.
Yeah. So 3 years then.
Mm-hmm.
3 years we've had this anvil, and it's held up well. So no complaints as of yet.
Mr. Coffee says Christmas magic fuels your forge and a little propane for effect.
That's right. That's right. The propane is for ambiance.
See, Possum Sacha says, why wouldn't the chisel work, especially under the treadle hammer? Could it be done cold with the cold chisel?
Yeah, it can be done cold with a cold chisel. I just have hot work tools that I made up for this purpose. So that's why I'm using that. Again, you could use a cold chisel, maybe lock them in a pair of Visa grips. The big thing is, unless you, you won't want to put your hand underneath here just as a safety. That's just in general. When you got no control over the striking or power or angle or whatever of this hammer, it's not a smart idea to put your hand underneath there. So you could take a cold chisel and lock it in a pair of Visa grips for a handle, and boom, you're good to go. You could do that. I just happen to have the tooling. I like the way this fuller looks on the piece. I guess that's kind of my reasonings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Steven Starlin, yes, these are flower coat hooks.
Yep.
Thomas Sawyer says, nice invention, love your Christ-centered theme, all for the glory of God.
Thank you. Amen, brother.
See, Jordan Swartwood said, I made a set of tongs for my first time, and I forged it, and it took me 6 hours, but this guy showed me how to do it and explained it very well. Thank you, Christ-centered Ironworks.
Well, you're very welcome if I was that guy.
And Peter Watson says, I really like my hammer, planning on buying the air assist kit sometime this year.
Awesome. Good to hear it. So, on that note, I want to say another thing about what I've got going on. I've got planned this year for the air hammer that is in the works and that will be coming out here soon, hopefully. There will be a heavy hammer option that I'm going to be adding. That'll be the first thing that'll come out for this kit as an upgrade that you can upgrade to. Basically what it will do is it will replace this normal hammer head that's here right now and your hammer handle, so you'll get back a sledge for your shop. And it will actually have a bit of steel that will go inside of here. It'll be a solid piece of bar stock that will come up. As of right now, I'm thinking it'll be a solid piece of bar stock. It will have a flange fitting that bolts through a heavier chunk of steel. Now, the heavier chunk of steel, I'm researching it right now, but it's going to be a 4-inch by 4-inch square bit of material, and it's going to have a lot of good stuff into it. The goal is to get this hammerhead weight up right around 40 pounds. So that's what my goal is to bring this up to a heavy hammer upgrade kit. Now, with that kit, it will come with a stronger springs and everything you need to adapt, so you don't have to worry about all that. Your frame will be the same, your air cylinders, all that other stuff will be the same, whatever you bought with the kit before will be fine. The only difference is it will have a much heavier head that you're going to be able to lay down some wampum on some steel. When I've had criticisms of this kit in the past, the main criticisms is that it does not hit like a 50 or 100 pound power hammer would, or it doesn't press like a 20 ton or 50 ton press is going to press. And duh, it's not going to. It's not meant for that. That's not what it is. It is to provide powered assistance, like having a striker in your shop swinging a sledgehammer for you on call at just the push of a button. Now you've made a strike. That is where these kits shine. And I built these kits for the homeowner blacksmith in mind. I'm keeping this, I love it so much, and I'll stand behind it. That's why I put a Sunka post 4 foot in the ground and mounted this permanently in my shop, because it's going to stay permanently in my shop because I love it so much. It works great. It does what it needs to do. So this was really to take and help people up their production level, make the craft more accessible to people with disabilities, that, you know, or people advanced in age. That's what this kit was designed for, was to take and help that type of smith out. Now, if you're going to be a professional smith and you want to knock out 50 billets of Damascus in a day, or forge out, you know, 8-pound sledgehammers and this and that, well, you either better have a gorilla for a striker, or go out and spend the $30K in equipment like every other smith has to do that wants to go down that route. But that's not what this is. This is to help you get an introductory level unit to get you introduced into the world of powered equipment in your shop, and hopefully your neighbor's ears as well, because as you can tell, it's a pretty quiet hammer to run. It's not too bad to run, but that's the whole purpose of this kit. So the heavy hammer upgrade option is an answering to people who want to see it Mongo mash 1.25" steel. Okay, fine, I'll give you that option. But you know, it's going to make the kit a bit more convoluted. There's going to be more things that you have to assemble and put together to make it do that. But the great thing about the kit is it's modular. You can buy the base model kit, or you can buy the base model kit without the air assist, or you get it with the air assist and be on your way. You'll be able to add the heavy hammer upgrade at any time. And all the other options that I'll be adding here very, very soon to the kit.
Kyle Jones, this time Roy has some spiced tea to drink, hot spiced tea, but he does have his thermos. Mr. Coffee and Paul Lilly, I believe the swedge block that he was just using, the mini swedge, was from Holland Anvil. You can find additional small swedges like that. Derek Melton on Instagram, he's doing some batches of small swedge blocks. Again, Holland Anvil, they have some, and there's another one I can't think of at the moment. M2 Woodworks, glad that you're enjoying the guillotine tool.
What's that?
I said M2 Woodcraft says they're enjoying the guillotine tool.
Awesome, glad to hear it. Put a little roll on that hook and call it a good one.
All right. Bad Saint says, hey Roy, are you holding any beginner classes this year, or this winter?
So this year I'm already committed to quite a bit. I've got several private classes that I will be teaching up here that will be one-on-one sessions that are scheduled for the first part of this year. I may offer something in the later part of the summer after I get my roof replaced on the barn. Me and Thomas are going to be working at that, trying to get this old girl all shaped up and looking good, and hopefully not leaking anymore. So that's our big project for the summer. And so I won't be doing a lot of shows or events or anything like that during the summer months, but I do have a conference coming up all the way in Virginia, or no?
Let's see.
No, sorry.
Central Virginia. Blacksmith
Is it Central
Field.
Virginia? Yeah. So I have a conference coming up in Virginia for the Central Virginia Blacksmith Guild.
Yep.
I believe is how you say it. And so I will be over there teaching different applique methods of acanthus leaves and scrolls to one another. So like riveting and pinning work and brazing and forge welded scrolls, things like that, how to put them together, collars, whatnots, things like that. So I will be having that coming up here in this year, and then we're going to be staying here mostly after that. So that's in March, and so we're not too far out from that now. And then I got a few private classes in April and May coming up. So, but if you want to take and get on a class, whether a private class or say be included as far as like in a beginner's class, like a fundamentals course that we might do up here, maybe get a few other students along for the deal. If that's something you're interested in, get with us through the contact email in the description and say, hey, I'd be interested in something like that. And Jessica will add a name to a list, and then we can always give you a call if we end up getting around to that this summer.
Yep.
So.
We can start a waiting list, or
you start a waiting
list. Interest
okay.
list,
Interest
I guess,
list.
yeah.
Okay. Let me roll this hook real quick, and
right.
then I'm going to roll this hook real quick, and then we'll give something away. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Sound good?
Yep.
Okay. I don't normally forge sitting down, so this is a little weird for me. But we'll see if we can still manage it.
Timothy, yes, he is using air power, the air compressors in the other part of the shop.
And it's working on the off side of my body. How's that song? Country Boy Will Survive, though?
Yeah.
All right. Boom.
Very
Good?
nice.
Camera
yeah.
too?
Yep.
So there's the back of one hook, so you guys can kind of see the idea of it. I messed up the one groove on there, and I probably won't offer that on the website, so I'll have to make up a whole nother one of these for that board that I'm going to do. But that at least iron this thing out. There we go.
Abigail, we are located in Harrisville, Michigan.
Boom. Another piece done. Another one bites the dust. I could probably give the leaves a little flick too, couldn't I?
Yeah.
What do you
Give them
think?
a little flick, a little finesse.
Give it a little finesse. I'll stick them in there and then I'll flatten her again.
Thomas says, don't forget the beeswax.
Oh yeah, well, I'll do that at the final stage once everything's put together.
Dana, thank you for the dinner invitation.
What's that?
Dana says we're invited to his house for dinner.
Awesome. Thank you for that invite. Set these in here.
Let's see here. Milky Toast says, why don't you close the back of the forge?
There's no need in it. So, it's just the brick that's in there. I'll be taking advantage of that here in a little bit when I draw down some stem material for the roses, if we get that far. So that's why I'm not closing up the back of the forge. Contrary to popular belief, so when we see forges, and I'll go into a little rant here, and And I'm sorry for anybody if I'm neglecting comments or things like that. I'm not trying to. Hopefully we can get to everybody's questions and give you those answers that everybody desires. But as a culture, we watch stuff online. We see things online. We we do monkey see, monkey do all the time. You say, well, everybody has this forge, or everybody has this power hammer, or everybody has this press, or everybody has this hammer, so that must be the right way to do it. But I'm here to tell you that there are several fads in the world of blacksmithing. Damascus is a fad, rounding hammers are a fad, same thing, just like Hoffy hammers were a fad, and just like diagonal peen hammers are a fad. Gas forge, no gas forge, coal, coke, charcoal, green coal, right? All those things kind of come into popularity in waves. So right now, it's very big in Damascus. Well, it was Damascus. Now it's kumai stuff for knife work, right? Now it's trying to put copper in the mix, okay? And that's the big hot thing, so you just see it plastered everywhere. And with that, I'm getting to the point about the question about the open forge. With that type of work, you are trying, because gas is terrible at heating things compared to coal, but it's cleaner than coal if it's adjusted right. It's terrible at heating things, so you're trying to capture as much of that heat energy as you can that you're burning. You're just burning dollars out the window when you're trying to make Damascus. When you're trying to make Damascus, or you're trying to make the kumai stuff, or you're trying to do mokame, or any of these other type of weird fancy things together, or forge weld stuff together, you have to insulate your fire compartment as much as you can to even have a chance to get things hot enough that you can then forge weld things. And so that's what you see people doing all the time, practically bricking off everything except for the tiniest of little holes out the front. But as an artist smith, I am less concerned with bricking things down to where there's only a little inch hole, because I'm not making blades. I don't need it to get to umpteen thousand degrees. I need it to get orange hot in order for me to do my forming and forging work with it. Maybe yellow hot. I don't need it to get to forge welding temperatures or white hot in order for me to do my work. And so this provides extra heat to me, and it has accessibility to where I can fit in weird shaped items and I can get them back in the forge and not have to constantly move bricks and put bricks closed and things like that. So I, as an artist smith, I'm more interested in the product and getting it done, and less concerned about the fuel consumption or bricking the thing up to where it gets to, you know, oh my God, Mongo hot degrees or anything like that. I'm not concerned with that as a smith from that perspective. But you will see that, and it's a valid point, it's a valid question. Why isn't it closed up? Well, that's why it's not closed up. It's because it just doesn't need to be. There's no value in it. All right. Go to the anvil, Jess?
Yep.
We'll add a little roll there. We'll roll back. Hopefully I can do this all in one heat. That would be great. Put it opposite of me, which is awkward as all get out.
Thomas says the beeswax reminder. He is curious if you wanted to give that away this live stream or next time.
What's that, babe?
The beeswax from Thomas. Whether you wanted to do that for a giveaway this time or next time.
Oh, I know what he's talking about for the beeswax. Yeah.
Okay.
I just thought he was mentioning it for the.
Oh, to finish it with.
To do the finish on this thing. I'm not going to put beeswax on it. It was right after I had made the comment about finishing it, and he's like, "Don't forget your beeswax."
Yeah.
All right. I think I like that pretty well.
Yeah?
It's out pretty good. All right.
Oh, Leland Hawk said he made a coat hook rack with flower hooks and the butterfly hooks, and it made a nice combination.
Awesome. Yeah, a lot of people have been making some really neat stuff out there using the blanks. It's really fun to watch. All right, I'll have to do a little more cleanup on that later. But you guys can see the difference, adding a little bit of ruffle to it, huh?
Yeah, that's nice.
Does it look nice or no?
It does, yeah. It makes it more three-dimensional.
Go pull this down.
Jesse Leshko says, how well will the hammer work for forge welding?
How well will this hammer work for forge welding?
Yep.
Just as good as your hand hammer will work for forge welding, or your or a power hammer of any kind. So there you go. So there's the hook, and then that's what the flower will look like on top of it. And then of course there'll be a rivet down there, a button head rivet that'll attach the thing together.
And I technically, I designed this hook technically that you could do different flower types for the head. So we sell all kinds of flower heads. I think the daisy would work, you know, so you could do a layered effect, or there's, you know, plenty of other ones as well.
Yep, so there you have it. Set that down.
Roger Caldwell says, looks good.
Awesome.
GWI Railroad says, awesome job, Roy, what a great look.
Cool. You drink here?
Nathan McAlpine says, that looks like the most relaxed way to smith.
Looks like a what?
The most relaxed way to smith.
Yeah, I'm really breaking up a sweat here. Really breaking up a sweat. It's a hard life. It's a hard life, ladies and gentlemen, but somebody's got to live it. Might as well be me, huh?
Yep.
What else, babe? More comments, complaints,
more comments.
concerns,
yes,
questions.
I have a whole list. Chance Heron says, I appreciate this channel and getting me started in this new hobby. I recently got a single burner Mr. Volcano forge and a Harbor Freight anvil. Looking forward to learning more.
Awesome, Chance. Glad to have you a part of the smithing community, and I'm glad that the channel has been helpful to you. So.
Shocking Shane says, what is your favorite thing you have ever forged?
That always comes to that question always comes, and it always hits me right between the eyes and makes me stutter for about 10 minutes trying to figure it out. I would say up to date or currently, probably one of the most favorite things, I have to narrow it down to a few things. I just recently made last year a selection of hooks and a trammel, a candle trammel hook type. Well, it's not a trammel hook, it's just a candelier that's a sawtooth trammel, so it's adjustable, and it's got 2 candlesticks on it. I would say that was probably one of my favorite pieces of 2022, including the hook. So I made a really ornate wall hook to go on it, and then I also demonstrated 2 different variants of that really ornate wall hook for some conferences last year. So those were probably my favorite hooks I made. I did them in a Baroque styling, and then, or a very classical styling, if you will, for those who don't know what Baroque is. I go ahead and research that, and it'll blow your mind, that type of work. I also made a door knocker that I was super happy about. I was super thrilled with the way it came out. Had a lot of gold leaf in it. The backdrop came out pretty much like I wanted it to. I had to rush the backdrop a bit more than I wanted because, well, I ran out of time like I do. Other things were pulling at me. And so I would say all of those items were my favorites of 2022. And that would be of 2022. Of all time, my favorite things of all time that I've ever forged, I would have to say it would probably be my door lock that I made. It's a 15th century door lock that's got a sliding bolt on it, and I made the key, and I made everything with Tom Latané. He's a master locksmith and blacksmith in Pepin, Wisconsin. And I was able to take a internship, a 2-week internship with him and do that. And I will say that that was 100% maybe the most transformative moment of my life in my ironworking career, was taking that 2-week internship with him. And so with Tom Latané. And so for me, that would probably be my most favorite piece I've ever created. It wasn't for a customer. It wasn't for anything else, you know, other than myself and learning, and that's been my favorite. Whenever someone asks me, well, you know, oh, well, what kind of things you make? It's hard for me to answer. I have made so many things over the time that I've been doing this as a career. In fact, I've probably made more things than some guys who've got 30 years in it, just because I've went through different stages in my career. I've done the custom route, where I do nothing but custom commissions. I've done nothing but production work, where it's day in, day out. You come up with several different product lines and variations of those product lines, and then you just hustle thousands of them a year to make your income. I've done everything from small stuff to doing shows, doing art venues, craft shows, summer bazaars, winter bazaars, you name it. We've kind of done it over the years as we got. Now we're doing this YouTube thing, and we're doing teaching and education and things like that. And yeah, it's really hard. It's really hard to just wrap all of that up into just one thing. Yep. I make knives. They're pretty cool.
Somebody's said their answer is the next thing they make.
Yeah, the next. Man, I need to start doing that. I need to steal that. It's the next thing I make, huh? Oh, are you at camera too?
Yes, I switched for a second.
Okay.
I have something to hand you if you want it.
Okay. Yeah. Oh. Good deal. You're probably wondering what went on there.
Michael
She had to hand me my meds.
Michael Atwood says, is anything proving particularly difficult to work while sitting?
Right now, it's weird for me. I would actually enjoy this. So I'm at a weird angle. Usually I'm used to being able to move my upper body around. I think this anvil, it would look terrible in the video, but I think this anvil needs to be canted just a little bit to the right, or just turned at a 45, a bias to the camera, and then that would make it a lot more handy for the way I normally work at the anvil with a hand hammer. So that would be the awkwardness. The other awkwardness is that this hammer comes down at like, are we at the main cam, hon? Okay. This hammer comes down, and when it hits the anvil, it's kind of, I got it set up to just hit dead center. So this hammer head itself is smaller than the anvil face. So without me scooching the anvil back so I get edge blows, I'm working in the center, so that's a little awkward. So I'd have to move the anvil back a touch. But I've already kind of pulled focus to a point with the cameras, so I can't do too much monkeying around with that focal point. Otherwise, things will be blurry and out of focus, and I got to refocus things. So I would say that that's some of the awkwardness there. It's kind of like designed awkwardness for the cameras, for the YouTube show. If I wasn't working with the YouTube show, it wouldn't be as awkward. All right, so I'm gonna start on this. I'm gonna start some texturing on this star blank, or on this rose blank, I should say. I'm gonna start with a calic, or whatever they call it. And I'm gonna start there, and then I'm gonna put it back in. And once I get it all hot again, once I put it back in, we're gonna give some stuff away. So that's gonna be the next thing, okay? Sounds good?
Sounds good.
Any pressing issues or concerns or complaints?
Nope.
Questions?
Motor Teeth says, how heavy of a hammer can be used in the Treadle hammer kit?
You can use up to a 16-pound hammer. So you can go up to 16 pounds with this current Treadle hammer kit and spring combination. If you go heavier than that, like 20 pounds or 25 pounds, you have to get an extra trampoline spring to go with it, which those are a dime a dozen. You can find those anywhere. All right, camera number 2.
Yep.
Good?
Yep.
Okay. I'm gonna have to move it. There's that one. Truth be told, I probably didn't even have to heat this. Oh well, I heated it, so we'll go from there. Is that one? Beautiful. There's that.
Gerald Randall asked if it could be attached in a garage or if that'd be too loud.
This can be attached? Yeah, it can be attached in a garage. It's been designed for garage smiths everywhere. This is infinitely more quiet, guaranteed, than a press. A press has a dang near constant whine to it from the hydraulics. So you'll hear it whine, go wee, whether you're squishing hot metal or not. So it's constant. This, it only makes noise when you make a thump on something or whack at something. And it's about, like I said, it's about as loud as a striker whacking material.
Yep.
So you can see that. How's it look? Not too bad?
Yeah, looks good.
All one heat. I didn't wear my arm out, didn't give myself tendonitis to get her all out there nice and done. And then I can iron it out. Just like so.
McCollery says, do you need an air compression system?
Do I need a what?
Do you need an air compression system to use the treadle hammer?
No, you do not. So I have an air assist option. That's what's on this treadle kit right now. Sorry, I keep forgetting where my camera's at. I have the air assist option on the kit right now, but I have the manual option as well. So let me kick this out of the way for a second. I got an air hose here. Can everybody see it over here on the bottom side? Can they see down here, Jess?
Yeah.
Okay, so this here is a 2x4. Here's my boot. So let me get that block of wood out from underneath it. So you can hit just as hard with the manual treadle hammer. The air assist can run off of a 12-gallon a 12-gallon air compressor. So a basic portable air compressor or a pancake, say a 6-gallon pancake air compressor, although it's going to run most of the time, it will be able to run this machine. I put this machine on a 3-gallon Harbor Freight air compressor, which the thing just ran constant, non-stop, but it was still able to power this hammer. Although the weaker of the air compressor you put in it, like the weaker the air force in it, say you put it in, say, 80 PSI, or you run this at 90 PSI, it's going to hit softer than if you crank this up to its maximum, which is 140 PSI. So if you have just a standard shop air compressor that can get above 120 PSI, you're going to be just fine. You don't need some gigantor, air system to run this hammer. You have to think about it. I spend a lot of time right now waiting on heats. We're not exactly in production mode here, but if I was in production mode, I would still be able to run this hammer effectively. So what, the air compressor kicks on from time to time. It's just kind of part of it, but I could do this just fine and maintain the heat and maintain the forging ability. Obviously, the heavier the material you want to work, the hammer strike, you have to get a higher arc of the hammer, and not only the heavier that way, but you have to add more air pressure. But your leg takes care of all that. If you don't want to do any of that, you just, as hard as you can stomp down on the piece, you can use the treadle on this. Now this seems a little, I have to go up super high just because I'm sitting, but if I come down here, if I just sit here and get my toe, I can work this hammer with just my toe. or just do that with your 8-pound hammer. You're not going to. So,
Right.
or 4-pound or 5-pound little hand hammer, you're not going to be able to strike that hard as what a properly set up one of these will be able to do.
Blake says, which one exactly is being given away, and what pound hammer can you use? So it's our base model of the Treadle hammer, the manual one.
Yep. The Treadle hammer kit that I'm giving away is everything you need except for the hammer, anvil, and the 2x4 stud that you need to mount everything to. So it is the baseline kit without the air assist. The air assist is an additional that can be added at any time or upgraded to. We sell it over our website. It comes as a complete bolt-in option. All you gotta do is bolt it in, add one bracket, and you're in business. So, so we're selling this exact Treadle hammer kit, but it's the base model without the air assist to it. So that's what we'll be giving away in tonight's stream.
Possum Sausage says, would the air assist be too strong to set forge welds?
Nope. Nope. So these are all great questions. I do need to get to giving away some things, but let me answer that question real quick. This hammer is as strong as you set it up. If you put a regulator, and I'd highly recommend putting a pressure regulator close by the hammer, if you take and you adjust your pressure down to 30 psi, this thing's going to swing like a mere baby. It's going to come down and lightly touch your things. After it's done lightly tapping your weld together, you can crank that booger right back up to full pressure and then really Mongo work the thing down if you want. Take another heat and then stretch the whole billet out. Also, how much you press, how fast you press is how hard the thing comes down. So if I just lightly lay my foot on it, that sounds heavy, but if I keep it down here, not a lot of power, right? Versus that, a full power swing is when it comes way up high and I'm getting full swings out of the thing. That's when it gets full swings. So to get a full swing out of it, it has to come down to the anvil, it's got to come up, and then you hit the air strike at the top of its stroke. When you do that and you time that with your foot, that's when you get the maximum amount of force out of your air hammer here, this Treadle hammer kit. But if you want to just lightly tap something, put an air regulator right on your beam or your post and just crank the air down to where it's only running at 30 psi. And then it'll just come along and just lightly tap your welds together. So it depends on how big your billet is. If you're doing Damascus and you put up a pretty big stack of that, you're going to need as much oomph out of this thing as you can get. So I wouldn't necessarily worry about being genteel with it. All right, let's give something away.
All right, sounds good.
So I don't know if anybody can see that in the video.
See which part?
The flickering. Does it look like flickering in the video?
From here it doesn't look like it.
Okay, they probably can't even hear it, but the air compressor just kicked on. So, and I have a 270 gallon air compressor, and I've been using this thing before the stream, and it just now kicked on and it'll cycle for about 10 minutes and shut off. So that means for part of this stream I was running at about 100 psi, because it about 100 psi it kicks back on once it dips below 100 psi. All right.
Trevo, yeah, Thomas uses that most of the time, and he has marked a place out on the anvil where it hits.
All right, I'm gonna carry all this stuff over here real quick, Jess.
All right. Yeah, they said no flicker.
Huh?
No flicker.
No flickering. Good. Don't want anybody to have a fit.
Yeah.
Stroke out while watching our video, eh?
Well, that tells you might be able to record videos.
Say what?
You might be able to record videos even when Thomas is using the plasma cutter.
Yeah, might
If you
be
get the
able
frame
to do
rate
that.
right.
Yeah. Okie doke. Giveaway time.
Giveaway time.
Giveaway time. So, this won't be given away in tonight's stream. Let's go to camera number 2, Jess.
All right.
So this isn't going to be given away in tonight's stream because I have done a poor job of posting about it over on Instagram, Facebook, and some other things to help just get some word out about it. So this is actually going to be for next month's stream. So Beasler Blacksmith took and sent me this wonderful cross-peen hammer to give away to support the channel and support the blacksmithing community. As you can see, he done a wonderful job on it here. Really nice hammer. Don't know how else to show it off. Has a good handle length to it. I believe this comes in like almost right around 3 pounds. So again, this is a really nice hammer, and we'll be giving this away again next month at our next giveaway live stream. We'll be giving one of these away here. So I'm going to set that off to the side and be on the lookout for Beasler Blacksmithing's hammer, cross-peen hammer, in the next live stream. You won't want to miss it there. So I'm going to set that off to the side. So, but what we are giving away in tonight's stream is we're going to be giving away some bottle opener blanks like this, a set of 3 to one lucky individual. We're going to give away another set of 3 to a lucky individual. We're going to give away these anvil hook blanks to a lucky individual so you can hang up some jackets in your shop and make it look cool. Again, all these blanks can be found over our website, blacksmithingblanks.com. This is a new hook blank we're offering. I don't even know if you have it on the website yet.
Do.
You do?
I believe
okay.
I do. Yeah.
This is a new offering we have. This is an Olga blank. This is a little hook blank. That's a German pattern anvil. So it's a double horn anvil style versus your traditional London pattern like this one here. So we're going to give away a set of 3 of those hook blanks. And then we're also going to give away some of our sticker packs. These wonderful sticker packs have been provided to us by the excellent Dana Maggiore. So thank you, Dana, for sending these stickers so we can give them away. So we're going to give away some sticker packs and some sticker bundles for folks. And then the Taste de la Resistance, we're going to give away a treadle hammer kit. So this doesn't look like a whole lot, but basically it's a whole treadle hammer kit minus the hardware, the molding hardware and stuff that comes with it. That's just a big sack of bolts and chain and springs and things like that to bolt your hammer together with. This is the way they come. They come flat packed like this. Believe it or not, this has all the pieces included in it for the treadle hammer kit. So we're going to be giving away one base model treadle hammer kit that we sell over our website. So there you go. So that's the things we'll be giving away this evening. I think we're going to go ahead and kick it off with some of these bottle opener blanks, honey.
Okay.
Does that sound good?
Yeah.
Are we at camera 1 now?
One moment, we will be.
Let's go to camera 1.
All right.
All right, so that's what we're going to give away this evening to start things off. So these are for the 3. Go back to the main cam, girl. It's been too long, hasn't it? A little out of practice.
Well, I was just jumping ahead. I thought you were going to show them down there in just a second.
Yeah.
I was over anticipating.
Sorry. She's excited. She's excited. So we're going to give away these 3 bottle opener blanks and give them away to one lucky individual. If you don't know how this works, basically you comment in the comment section down below something in reference to these bottle opener blanks, and we will scroll and pick a name from the commenters somewhere at random, and then that person wins. Guess what? You guessed it, bottle opener blanks. And then all that you have to do is just be here, be present, be commenting, and if you win, contact us through the contact email in the description. If you don't contact year 2023, we're going to be a little bit tighter on this year. Actually very tight on this. If you don't contact us within 24 hours, we'll give it to somebody else, okay? So we're not hunting your email. You don't go over to Facebook or try to find us on Instagram or contact us through any other emails other than the contact email in the description, okay?
Yeah.
That's how you claim your prize. and that way we get your address and we can send it to you. Sound good?
Sounds good.
All right. So, are they commenting?
They are.
Are they happy?
Very
are they
quickly.
excited?
They are.
All right, here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who do we have, Jess?
I landed on Seth Piper with bottle opener.
Seth Piper?
Seth Piper.
Seth Piper, congratulations. You are the winner of these bottle opener blanks. Please get with us to the contact email in the description down below. We'll get that shipped out to you.
Also, guys,
First
thank you
thing
for the
Monday.
super chats. Possum Sausage with the $10 super chat to support those who have to deliver your products mid-January, LOL.
Thank you, Possum Sausage. Greatly appreciate that. Thank you for the support.
And Black Collar Ironworks with the $10 super chat says, hey everybody, I'm just stopping in for a second, but all I'll have, your live stream is in the background. Year of the Treadle Hammer? Question mark.
What's that?
Is it Year of the Treadle Hammer?
We'll get to that in a moment. Thank you for the $10 super chat. Thank you, both of you, for supporting the channel. All right, are we ready to give us something else away?
Yes, let's do that.
Okay. So you got that first one down, right?
Mm-hmm, correct.
Let's go ahead and give away the 3 hook blank set.
Okay.
Okay? I'm going to show that down to camera number 2 real quick,
All right.
so you can see that there.
Hooks.
We'll give away that 3 hook blank set. Go back to main cam.
All right.
All right. So I'm going to ring the anvil. Your comment must include something about the hook blanks, so this way Jessica can more easily find it amongst the chitter chatter in the comment section.
That's right.
Going to ring the anvil, come to a stop. She's going to scroll and pick a name at random. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. Who do we have, Jess?
Rigid Ironwork with hooks.
Woohoo! Rigid Ironworks. Congratulations. Hooks. You are the winner of the Anvil Hook Blank set. Please get with us, Rigid Ironworks, down to the contact email in the description. You know how this works. Or you better by now. You better by now. So, I'm seeing red flashing light on the camera too. The battery is low, so
Okay.
I will end up having to replace that here in a second. So if my screen goes dark on that one, then we'll just have to shift, okay?
All right. Sounds good.
All right, let's give away another thing. We're going
right.
to give away another bottle opener blank set.
All right.
Sound good?
Mm-hmm.
Hopefully that sounds good to you all. I like to try to keep these giveaways interesting. So we're going to give away this three pack of bottle opener blanks here. I try to keep these giveaways interesting as possible. Can we go back to the main screen, please?
All right.
I should be up there. Okay.
All right.
So every live stream's a little different. We offer some different things. Sometimes it's our blanks. Sometimes it's other blacksmithing tool that we purchase from other manufacturers. You just never know. And I like keeping it spiced up like that and just helping smiths out there to get around to smithing. So without further ado, let's get on to these blanks. We ready?
Yep. Ready.
Set. Go. What do we got?
All right. I landed on Leland Hawk with bottle openers.
Leland Hawk, congratulations. You got some bottle openers. You know what to do. Contact, email, description. All right. I think with that, I'm going to change the battery on the main cam, Jessica, and you
All
can
right.
keep the people entertained.
All right.
Oh,
I will change the camera angle while you do that. Jackson Gibson is curious if he could support the treadle hammer with a 4x4 cemented into the ground, or if it would need something larger or better.
he could do a 4x4 cemented in the ground. That would be fine.
Leland Hawk, yes, we are considering doing sunflower blanks.
Through here.
In fact, I already have it drawn up, and it's been sitting on the shelf for the last 6 months. And Roy just has to tinker around with it a little bit and make sure he's happy with the shape of that. But it's a fairly large one. I figured it might be pretty cool for garden art, you know. I think it's at least 8 inches across and 2 layers, and then like a separate dome. So it'll be a bit of a kit on that one. Yep, that's right, Devaka. Entertain them, Jess. High Desert Forge calls them Bob, bottle opener blanks. I like that. Ben Strickland, I want the Do Thomas Job for a Day giveaway. See,
What did he say?
He says he wants to do Thomas's Job for a Day giveaway.
So shop time giveaway, huh? I've toyed with that idea before. On whether anybody would be interested in doing like a blacksmith class, an all-included blacksmith class with me for a giveaway item.
That would be interesting.
Do you think it would be?
Yeah.
Do you think anybody would have any interest whatsoever?
Maybe. Jacob Garrison, I think it's below 20 degrees Fahrenheit right now. John Brunel, you stumbled into our live stream. Down Under Farm and Forge, came in late, sorry for sleeping in. That's all right, you made it here. I hear it's over 100 degrees there.
You made it here, that's all that matters.
Richard Ironworks says, happy to be here with everyone on my anniversary, 4 years clean and sober.
Oh
Awesome.
no. Well, happy to have you here. Is his anniversary of?
4 years of being sober.
Okay, no,
Yeah.
that's awesome. I was about to say, don't be here during a marital anniversary, please. We don't want your wives to hate us that bad, or your husbands. Oh, the blacksmithing will wait.
Metal Man Productions, I don't know when we're going to Virginia again just yet. Well, oh sorry, you're referring to the event. I thought you're, yeah, that event.
Yes.
It's March 10th through 12th.
You ought to know when we're going to
I
Virginia.
should know.
Yeah.
Free State Homestead, thank you for the $5 super chat.
Thank you very much.
You guys are a huge inspiration for my channel. Thanks for all your instruction, and yes, I'd be interested in a class.
Awesome, awesome. Okay, I want to give one more thing away before we move on.
All
Camera
right.
through. Boom. How's that look?
That
Boom.
looks good.
We're going to give away German anvil.
The German anvil.
Zaboom. All right. Are we ready?
Yes.
Oh, you go back to main cam.
Okay.
We're going to go ahead and give away some German anvil hooks, or the German pattern anvil hooks. These are newly listed on the website, so be sure to check those out. So we're going to go ahead and give these away now. So all you got to do is comment with something in relation to these hooks.
Yep.
And your comment. In 3, 2, 1, go. Who do we have?
We have Bear Fire Forge with Hookshot.
Haha, Bear Fire Forge. Congratulations. You got this with your comment hook shot?
Yes.
Ah, oh good. Bear Fire Forge, get with us through the contact email. You're the lucky winner. Boom.
Boom.
There we have her.
Let's see
Well, that
here.
gives away a lot of the smaller items. Now all we have is the Treadle hammer kit to give away, and we'll do that in just a little bit.
See, Jeff Killian says I have made a few wood chimes with the blanks. It works very well.
Very cool, Jeff.
Mark Coyle says, do you recommend a specific steel for making your own chisels and punches? And Jason Gothier says, what kind of steel is your chisel made of?
Okay, so I recommend to anybody who's taking and getting into tool making, to start making tools, I recommend getting into things like your simple carbon steel tools. So if you're buying tool steel, like that would be your 1045s, your 1075s, your 1095s, 1060s, depending on where you're at. Your 5160s, like your spring steels, your 4140s, those are all okay to get started in the realm of heat treating and working with tool steels and making your own steels out of. That being said, most of my punches and chisels and things that I've made over the year are all scrap steel. And so therefore, most of them, since they're scrap steel, I don't know their exact composition, but they should be pretty close to 5160, and that's how I've hardened them and tempered them and have worked with them. And so 5160, generally speaking, is what I work with hand punches and chisels and tooling like that. Now, I have some H13, I have some S7, I have some more of the exotic stuff, but those get more complicated in their heat treatment and your use case scenario matters with those. So I reserve that for really specialized tooling where I know that I need that tool and it's a lot more expensive. So chisels, punches and chisels out of coil spring is great. You can even cut them out of leaf spring if you want. Like if you have a heavy cross section of leaf spring, you can chisel out a bar off of those or forge the leaf spring down to a dimension that can make a nice chisel or punch set out of. So that's what I would recommend. Stick to your spring steels, stick to your known simple carbon steels, and you'll do just fine with making punches, chisels, and things like that. These here are, like I said, I believe these are like a 5160. So that's what I believe they are. But I can't be entirely sure because it was some shafting for a drilling rig. So I don't know what it's made of. I know I did a couple test samples to get the right heat treatment of it, and that's it. So I did a bunch of testing to get the kind of the right heat treatment on the things. And then once I found what worked really nicely, I stuck with that.
Jussie Leshko says, what is better for an anvil stand, wood or metal?
For an anvil stand, cheap is wood. If you have the ability to fabricate it, metal can be a little bit funner, a little nicer, just because there's a lot of options for welding stuff to it and really easily making tooling. You know, like tooling holders and things like that, and racks, and you can always weld all sorts of stuff, drill holes and things, create all sorts of contraptions to come off your anvil stands. My main anvil is a 465-pound German Peddinghaus anvil, and I have it sitting on a 375-pound steel base. A tri-legged base is what I have it sitting on. And at the time I wanted to do a steel stand. I had done some other smaller steel stands because I was on a concrete floor and all my oak log stumps were breaking. They would split, and then I would lose a log after a few years of use. So I went with a steel stand instead. So I wouldn't say one of them is better than the other. I would say that it kind of comes down to personal preference. If you have a permanent shop or permanent shop space where you can mount a good stump 4 foot deep in the ground and make it really rigid, like a really nice white or red oak stump that goes clear down in the ground, and you can make it really good and rigid up top and make a permanent stand, that you really can't beat a wooden stump like that, in my opinion. But right now I have a metal stand, and that's what I use on mine. But there is no goods, there are no, I wouldn't say one is better than the other. All right, I'll texture this real quick. As you do these pedals, they like to expand. Because of that, they'll curl and they'll actually go out underneath one another and start off your roses for you. .140 PSI is a bit much for this. I could turn it way down. See that okay?
Yeah.
There's one pedal down. As you can see, I did all those pedals all in one go. And I set that off to the side. Don't press the treadle.
No.
You don't want to press the treadle while you do that. These have been sitting forever, so I need to...
Tighten them?
Huh?
Need to tighten them?
I need to get them... I need to actually work on these because they've been sitting in here forever.
Oh, Jacob Garrison, I misunderstood your question. The one eBay I was referencing, the Blacksmith's cheat sheet, you can use that information to sell on Etsy, Amazon, anywhere online. Basically, it's got your SEO on there. It's got your SEO and 50 project ideas for small to medium-sized shop, you know, beginners to more advanced levels.
Yeah. Come on, you.
Duke Snyder, glad that your wife will look forward to the sunflower kit. She might have you making them for all across the yard. Shocking Shane asked if you've had to redo the refractory for the Mr. Volcano.
Not yet. I do need to do an update on the Mr. Volcano. There are some things I don't really like about it that I need to discuss. They were kind of in my original video. And I just need to discuss them a bit more in detail, so hopefully Mr. Volcano can make a change. Even if that means increasing the cost of their kit a bit. They're not an issue for me in my shop, but if you're just a beginner getting started, they could become an issue for you. So I need to do a rehash video on that. Whoop. And last but not least, this one. Oh man, I remember the days of making hundreds of these dudes by hand. Had to hammer out these, the cramps that I felt. Good Lord, that sucked. This is so much easier. There's your blank number 2. All right, questions, Jess. I'll take a break for a second.
Jordan says, Roy, have you written a book yet? I would love to buy. It's hard to jump on here and watch whenever because I have kids and a missus. So if I could pluck your brain sometimes and get some ideas from you.
Have I written a book? Nope, I have not written a book. So I'm not a writer. I'm not a writer. I toyed with the idea once. This is just not the format I'm into. I do videos. I have over 1,800 videos on YouTube that are various forms of teaching, everything from the most basic blacksmithing projects to fundamentals, to forge welding, to advanced techniques, to business, life, anything, tooling, you name it. I've got videos on it. On YouTube, and so I've invested 7 years of my life into making that a thing to help other smiths, and so that's where my book is at. It's on YouTube. So I'd suggest looking up the playlist section, typing in something you want to know, and make sure Christ Centered Ironworks is in that, and I'm sure I've done a video on it and have expressed my thoughts one way or the other. So that's my preferred form of communication with the world versus books. I don't have anything against written word. I don't have anything against people who do books. I just know that I'm just not talented enough to take and do a book. It's not what I'm gifted with. That's not my particular gifting.
Tabaka says everybody pick some videos and transcribe them to make Roy's book.
Yeah, there you go. Make Roy's book of blacksmithing. Roy's book of amazing curiosities.
Abigail asks us, do you have any advice for someone who is new to blacksmithing?
Let's see here. Advice for someone who's new to blacksmithing. I will always go, this leads down to a rant path a lot of times. That's why I giggled and laughed a little bit. My advice to someone who is new to blacksmithing is always the same. The advice that I always give to beginners, to people who are intermediate, to people who think they're advanced, to people who are changing different things, going between different stuff, different avenues, whether you want to be a knife maker or an armor smith, or you want to be whatever you want to be, decorative, you want to work on kitchen utensils, whatever, it doesn't matter. My advice is always the same. Practice and study the fundamentals of forging, of forge work. And now, to say fundamentals does not mean that these are easy or they become beneath you once you get to a certain stage, or you got 10 years in the craft or 20 years in the craft. The fundamental forging processes and exercises that all blacksmiths do to create work are ingrained in every single piece. So learning how to taper something properly and being able to draw out material efficiently is a fundamental. It's one that the world is sadly vastly lacking, unfortunately, is to just draw out material or to put a taper on the end of a bar. Practice your fundamentals. I have an entire playlist series on the forging fundamentals where I go in depth and detail on each of the 7 foundational and fundamental forging practices that you can do. So, you're tapering or drawing out, upsetting, punching, splitting. There's welding, bending, and twisting. There you go. Twisting, that's the last one there. So there's 7 fundamentals. And no matter what you make, I don't care anything you've ever seen made, all comes down to these 7 basic techniques and 7 fundamental forging exercises. And if you practice those as a beginner and you keep practicing them as a lifetime endeavor throughout the entire craft of smithing while you're doing it, no matter what it is that you're doing, you will be 1,000 times better as a smith for it, and you will be able to undertake projects that you never thought you could. That's basically it. Because if you can punch a hole in 1/4-inch plate that's whatever, a 1/4-inch round hole and some 1/4-inch plate, and you put a hole in it, you can do that in 2-inch thick material. The process is exactly the same. It's exactly the same. It doesn't matter how big the hole is. It doesn't matter how big the material is. The forging fundamentals are exactly the same. So that's what I say to that. If you want to be a knife maker, nothing wrong with that, but for the love of God, learn how to spread material and learn how to put a point on the end of a bar. It should be the very basic thing if you're going to become a knife maker, is to become very good at putting points on the end of the bar. You should never have a reason where you have to cut it off or grind it to shape. If you do, you need to go back to the drawing board and practice, because it does not require does not require anything else other than a solid foundation in fundamental forging practices. So that is what I'll say. And some people will bicker and argue about the 7 principles. There's punching. Some people will say cutting is one of those. You can cut on anything, a hardy. You can cut on the edge of the anvil. You can cut off with an angle grinder. You know, spreading is in there. Some people use that versus slitting or slitting work, or splitting something or chisel work. I add the splitting versus spreading because, well, spreading is kind of part of your other hammer work operations or drawing out, in my opinion. It's just in a different plane. So some people, you'll hear those 7 fundamental forging practices kind of get rehashed from time to time, but those are generally your basics. But please watch my playlist series on that, and that'll help you out. I think it's foundational, it's fundamental. A lot of people, I've seen this a few times at craft schools, at art or crafts. Might as well call them art schools because they're ran by art majors. Craft schools, we'll call them a craft school, just as their proper terminology. I've seen a lot of like resident artists, smiths, that don't know the first thing about putting a taper on the end of a bar, or they don't know the first thing about forge welding, or they don't know the first thing about punching a hole in material, but they sure can beat the living daylights out of a piece of metal and then put an arc welder to it and make it into some funky, god-awful looking sculpture and put it in an art gallery somewhere. So that to me isn't real forging. That's someone who has done themselves a disservice by just bypassing all the fundamentals and saying, well, it's good, I can make shapes and I can weld those shapes together, and it's all about the thing I create and how I emotionally feel about it. Blacksmithing, the doors of opportunity could be opened so much more to those folks if they actually had one clue about what they are actually doing and what the metal does when you do certain things to it. You can fully express yourself as an artist or as a smith with that. So do not skip on your fundamentals. Do not skip on the fundamentals. Don't just go straight to making knives. Don't skip on your fundamentals. Jessica's silent over there.
Yes, I am not sure. I'm uncertain where to go next.
You're uncertain? Not
Yes.
enough questions for you, like it?
Oh, yes. I think you've answered this one already, but Steve Starlin, what's the best project to start with, in your opinion? Looking to build up the skills over time, and it feels like there's 1,000 directions to go in. Any advice?
Fundamentals.
Yeah, that's why I wasn't sure if I should read it.
Fundamentals.
Kind of touched on that.
The best project to get started on is practice. That's first and foremost. Then everything else kind of pops into place. If you really want a project to get started, you're going to do hooks. You're going to, nails. If you want to do nails, that's okay. But I suggest hooks. I suggest fire pokers, meat skewers, grilling tongs, squirrel cookers, fireplace tripods, something that would use scroll work to add scrolls to things, maybe even some collar work, things like that into it, and slowly develop over time like that. But I will always say fundamentals, 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 fundamentals. Start with there. You're like, well, what am I going to apply all these fundamentals? Don't worry about it. Get good at the fundamentals first and then apply yourself at something that you got in your mind, and then it's not a beginner project anymore. You can apply professional quality results to a quote-unquote easy project or beginner project, right? Like, because you are training yourself to be a professional, to have a professional result, to have someone who has years of time at the anvil in. You're training yourself there first, and then you're applying it to a project versus let's start a project and hope for the best and just wing it. You can wing it. There's nothing wrong with winging it. I did it. I winged it when I got into it, didn't I? Mm-hmm. I did. Nobody was teaching me anything. I started off my first 3.5 years of my smithing career was spent in the dark. I didn't even know other smiths existed outside the one guy at Carriage Hill. That's it. I thought me and him were the only two dudes on the face of the earth. What, 15 plus years ago now?
Yeah.
Yeah? I thought he was the only other dude that knew a thing about a thing that I was doing. That's it, and that's all I knew for 3.5 years. And I slowly got in touch with more people, more and more smiths that are way better than I was. And I'm like, what am I missing here? Why ain't my project turning out exactly like theirs? I didn't know anything about the fundamental forging exercises. I didn't. I was just mashing stuff and trying to make cool things that were in my head, and they weren't coming out like I wanted to. It wasn't until I went and got some proper training, and I realized that, hey, I skipped a big portion of education here I should have took time for. Then I went back to the drawing board, I practiced my fundamentals, and I made it a point to do that in everything that I did, to constantly stretch myself as a smith to get to where I'm at now today. And so that's how you have to do it. So I was applying no knowledge at beginner projects and having a rough result because of it, versus what I could have done is I could have got the knowledge first in the experience, apply it at a beginner project, and had the result that was in my head. And it would look as beautiful as it would have been in my head. So that's why I always shout that out. Practice tapers. Make 10 tapers. Make a 1-inch taper on the end of a bar, cut it off. It's going to look horrible. Make another 1-inch taper, and that's from the tip of the taper to where the back, where the tape bar stops tapering. Its original parent bar thickness, down to the taper. Cut it off. Do it again and again and again until you have 10 of them. And what you'll see is that number one, compare them. Number one is going to look hideous. It's going to look like garbage. And by the time you get to number 10, you're like, whoa, that's way better. You can't skip time at the anvil practicing those fundamentals. And guess what? Your 10,000th taper is going to look miles better, worlds better than your very first taper you ever did, or your very first 10, or your very first 100, or your very first 1,500. You get that 10,000 taper someday, guess what? They're going to be the most beautiful, accurate tapers out there. You don't have to do 10,000 tapers. You can apply that to a project, but that will show you what I'm talking about. Punch a hole. Punch a hole in the end of a bar. It's going to blow out the side. It's going to be ugly. It's going to be off to one side. You might have cracking. Maybe you didn't even accomplish the task. Cut it off. Do it again. You're going to get a little better. Cut it off. Do it again. Cut it off. Do it again. Cut it off. Do it again. Do 10 of them. And before you know it, you're going to have one that's almost dead center of that bar, that has the right amount of material swell around it, that has almost a perfectly clean hole through it, and you'll be like, wow, I know how to punch a bar now. So when I go on Forged in Fire and they ask me to put a ring in the back end of a knife blade, I'll actually know what I'm doing. Wow, punching. That's difficult there, Bob. Real difficult. I don't know if our smiths can do that. Smith of 35 years that doesn't know how to put a hole in a piece of steel. Don't be that guy. Learn your fundamentals and practice them. And if you do a progression of 10 like that, start every day doing that. I guarantee you in 1 year, you'll be worlds ahead of anybody you see on TV. Guaranteed. Guaranteed. All right. I got to texture this real quick.
All right.
And just for those who are just joining us, who says, this guy don't know what he's talking about, I'm going to show a little piece that I'm working on. Just a sampler of a masterwork grill I'm working on for all the naysayers. See how that's coming along?
Mm-hmm.
Looking pretty good?
Yeah.
I'm gonna warm this up just a little bit more. I found that with the higher air pressure, I don't need, with the higher air pressure, I don't need the full 140 PSI. I don't need the full womp or that to be super hot. I actually, my very first one I did with the little ones, I actually blew some cracks in it. I went straight through the material with my fuller, so it's like, better back it up just a fuzz. Knock about 10% off, huh?
Drew Wilson asked, is there a reason to start in the middle of the piece when texturing? Just asking for a newbie.
Good question. So I don't have really any reason why I'm doing what I'm doing. Not right now. I've just been trying to hit and put marks in it. I haven't really been paying attention to that too much. But experience in the past, we're making a lot of roses. If you want to work your edges first, so you want to work your edges first and then work your pieces to the center, work your stripes or your texture to the center. Reason for that being, I think on one of these I just hit it in the center just to start. Like I said, I wasn't really paying attention what hit order. I'm just correcting as I go. But you will find that if you don't work your edges first, what'll happen is if you work the center too much, it'll curl up on you. And then you're fighting this pedal going back and forth like that as you're trying to straighten it out. As you can see, as I'm spreading that material, that's cupping that material quite a bit, isn't it? It's just bringing it up, so I have to flip it over and knock that cup back out of it. So for me, what I try to do is I try to work those edges first, spread the material there, and then it doesn't cup as bad by the time you get to the center. In that one particular piece, it cupped extra hard. That one pedal, it cupped extra hard because I did start in the center. So it's a good call out to look at that. You may not want to start in the center like I did there. Now again, you can correct for it. It's not a big deal if you do. Just don't put a whole bunch of marks in the center, because the more you stack those marks together, remember you're displacing material. It's not vaporizing, it's not disappearing, it's displacing that material. So it's going a little bit forward and aft of the chisel. So we can go to the camera, Jess, camera number 2.
All right.
So there's a little bit of displacement happening this way and that way. So it's going this way and that way. But the majority of the displacement is going left to right. So as we're working that pedal on around with all of our texture there, it's displacing it out this way. Well, what happens is that displaced material runs into the ends and it acts as an anvil effect, and then that's what starts cupping the material. The ends actually support that material going there, the material from pushing this way fully. So what happens, it runs into that and it has to go somewhere. The anvil stops it this way, the ends are stopping it from this way. It can only go up with your kinetic force, so then it starts curling up on you. And that's why it curls in the first place. Let that cool down a bit. We'll go out again. Great question. So working your edges first helps out. Got another little blowout on there. Darn it. See how it's cupping up like that? And now if you try to go back and work those edges, it starts kicking it back and forth on you. So try to work your edges first. It'll help keep things flatter. If you go to the other side and work that edge equally, and then up towards your tip, and then come back and work your middle. Doesn't work, it doesn't cup it nearly as bad.
Looks nice.
You want a little cup, that helps you out when you form out your pedals. But you just don't want a ton of cup. There we have it.
Just so you know, also it is 7:17.
It's how much?
7:17.
7:17, okay. We've done pretty good.
Yeah.
Not too bad.
Also, Castle Forge has a burning question.
Uh-oh, burning question from Castle Forge.
Have you ever thought about making a waste oil forge?
A waste oil forge, that's a burning question if I ever heard one. I attempted to make a waste oil forge once, and what I realized really quickly is it wasn't going to work for me. For the amount of headache that it was and issue, I just didn't want to mess with it. So I didn't like the smell of burning waste oil. I didn't like the idea of burning waste oil. I know they get hotter than all get out, but I don't like all the peripherals around that. So yeah, I've tried to make one in the past. It did okay. I got as far as doing the burner and working with the burner. And I was able to get heat out of the burner, but by the time I stuck it in a forge and just the amount of extra tweaking I need to do and deal with stuff and deal with oil, getting waste oil to burn and stuff, I said, nah, I don't want to mess with the whole thing. So the only reason why I did that is because I had like a lot of tractor fluids. I would drain the tractor oil and do, you know, routine maintenance on the cars and things like that. I had a whole bunch of motor oil, and you know, I had other oils too as well that I could burn through that. And I had half a fuel oil for like a fuel oil furnace. I had like a half a, whatever you want to call it, tank of that still available for a furnace that I wasn't using. And so I thought, well, hey, I'll make a waste oil furnace, because it seemed like, man, they get hotter than all get out. But truthfully, for my work, I don't need anything to get nearly that hot when it comes to gas forges. And I've always had the coal. I've always had the coal forge, and so it just gets super hot and not as much mess, in my opinion. So I stuck with that. No, great question on that.
Mad Mr. Fox says, what PSI do you have your tank set to?
Right now? Like 4 PSI.
Oh, yeah. Well, so what's your output PSI for the hammer?
Oh, what's this? So right now the output PSI is 140 PSI going to this hammer.
Okay.
So that way it gives it its max strike. I really didn't need that much. I could have cranked it down to like 90 PSI for what I'm doing here. Perfect. That would have been perfect to run it at about 90 PSI or maybe even 60 PSI. It might have been perfect for what I'm doing because I'm just working with thin material. But
Heather Northrup says, what is the cheapest hammer you would recommend starting with?
Cheapest hammer, like a hand hammer? Harbor Freight. Harbor Freight 3-pound cross peen. That's a bit heavy. I don't really like that one as well. If you can find an economical 2-pound forging hammer from a maker, I would go with that. Like something around 2 pounds. I personally swing all the time a 1 3/4 pound hammer. That's the one that I use all the time. And yeah, this thing has seen millions of hammer blows at the anvil. And it's my favorite forging hammer, bar none. So that's what I would suggest. The biggest thing with dressing a hammer or finding at a garage sale find is just to take and smooth off any sharp edges you see. You want to take off any sharp edges because those sharps leave little marks in your work. And I've got a video on there on dressing hammer faces on the channel as well. What else, babe?
Let's see. William Travers says, what defines a cold chisel versus a hot chisel?
It is the angle in which the chisel cuts at. So the cold chisel has a shallower angle to it, and a hot chisel has a sharper angle to it. If I'm not mistaken, well, I'm not even going to say the degrees because I always mess that. I get them in reverse all the time. I believe a hot chisel is 60 degrees and a cold chisel is 30 degrees, so it's a lot shallower. I get those two mixed up all the time, so don't take my word on that. But mainly, a cold chisel has a much shallower approach to the cutting edge, so this way it has a lot more support of that cutting edge from it rolling over. Versus a hot chisel with a really sharp approach to a cutting edge, it has less support, so it can bend. That cutting edge can roll over easier, so to speak. Proper heat treat on your chisels will make a world of difference no matter whether it's a cold chisel or it's a hot chisel or a slitting chisel.
Trip Wyckoff says, have you used an inverter forge yet?
Used in an inverter forge, so like an induction forge is my guess on that. So I have not used an induction forge as of yet. I imagine it'll be pretty interesting when I do get around to being able to use one. Hold on a second, I'm going to grab these chisels. I want to answer that question a little bit more in detail here.
Okay.
Grab a slit chisel, a stash, and a cold chisel. People see these okay?
Yep.
Can they see that all right? I know it's a little blurry, but I want to bring it up a little closer.
Yeah, that's good.
Do you see the approach on the cold chisel?
Mm-hmm.
Versus see the approach on the slitting chisel or hot chisel?
Yeah.
See the difference?
Mm-hmm.
Maybe that slitting chisel's not the best. Maybe here's a better slitting chisel profile to look at.
Mm-hmm.
You see the approach?
Yeah. Really
So
long
that
versus
is
really
the difference
short.
between the two chisels. This is a hot chisel. This is a cold chisel. The only thing that makes the difference is, like I said, the pitch or the approach to the cutting edge.
Milky Toast says, how many 66-pound anvils have you purchased?
How many 66-pound anvils have I purchased?
Let's see.
Too many.
Yeah, at least a dozen for the year of the anvil, plus the one that you purchased for yourself, at least. And I think we bought another one to trade for a Harbor Freight anvil when the Harbor Freight anvils were out of stock.
Thomas wanted me to give away some beeswax.
Uh-huh.
Oh, I just remembered that.
Yes, it was on my
You need
list.
to write that down?
I already
Beeswax
did.
from Thomas?
Already did.
All right.
I was going to remind
Go
you.
to camera number 2, babe.
Okay.
Okay. So Thomas went out recently and bought a bunch of beeswax. And then he poured them, obviously, into some muffin tins. And he wanted me to take and give away some beeswax to some lucky individuals. So what I'm going to do is I think I'm going to go ahead and set these out and give them away to 4 different individuals. How that sound, hun?
Okay.
1 beeswax puck per person.
All right.
How's that sound?
Yeah.
So these are like a triple filtered beeswax. Thomas knows more of the specifics than I do, but he went out, he bought a whole bunch of beeswax and put it together. So get to commenting if you would like to take and win some beeswax, and we will send that to you through, the postal system.
Sounds good.
All right, so when I'm done ringing the anvil, we're going to give away some beeswax. How's that sound?
Sounds good.
Thank you, Thomas Goodymoot, for making the beeswax pucks here to give away. All right, this is for the first one. Are we ready?
Yep.
Okay, let's go. Who do we have?
We have Quack 6 with bees.
Quack 6. Congratulations. You are the first winner of the beeswax. Can we go back to camera number 1, please?
Yep. As long as that's not hot.
Yeah, it's not. All right, and go. Who do we have, Jess?
We have High Desert Forge and Ironworks.
High Desert Forge, congratulations. You're the next winner of some beeswax. Woo! We ready?
Yep.
Go for another one. 3, 2, 1. Who do we have, Jess?
We have Katana Guy with Waxy Wax.
Who is it?
Katana Guy.
A ton of guy. Waxy Wax.
Katana.
Katana Guy?
Yeah.
I thought you said a ton of guy. I was about to say, I have I have questions. Boop. All right, and for the last puck of beeswax. So 3, 2, 1, go. Who do we have, Jess?
We have Robert Lannis with Wax.
Robert Lannis? What? Rigged. It's got to be rigged. Congratulations,
Right
Robert
at the top.
Lannis. You all know what to do. Get with us through the contact email down in the description, and we will get these sent out to you first thing Monday. Boop. Easy peasy, just like that. Lemon squeezy.
That's right. So yeah, so we still have Treadle Hammer Kit and the stickers to give away.
All right, good. How many people do we have in the live stream, Jess?
Let's see, as of currently at 7:30 p.m., we have 138.
138 people?
Yep.
That's
correct.
amazing. Thank you all so much for being here. Oh, our Christmas live streams are generally the most popular.
Mm-hmm.
Then we get, you know, it's like the after the Christmas live stream. Everybody's like, give us something. Well, it's better than 50 or 60 or 2.
Yeah,
Just 2.
just 2.
But I started live streaming with just 2. And slowly but surely it's creeped up over the years, hasn't it, hun?
Yep, it sure has. Although
So.
I'm pretty sure there's
All right, what do you think we should give away next? Do you think we should give away some stickers, or do you think we should go ahead and give away the Treadle Hammer Kit?
Let's give away the Treadle Hammer Kit, and that way anybody who's gonna leave after that will leave, and then the stickers will be left for the hardcore people.
Ah, for the hardcore fans, eh?
Hardcore fans.
I got up too quick on that last one to go run and get the beeswax.
Oh yeah.
My foot is paying for it now.
Aw.
All right. Ugh. Can they see that all right?
Yes.
All right, so this is going to be for the Treadle Hammer Kit. This is what we're going to be giving away. It is a base model Treadle Hammer Kit. It comes with all of the fittings and everything you need to take and put together your very own Treadle Hammer Kit. You can always, if you decide you want to upgrade to the Air Assist, we do have them on the website. You'll be able to do that, and it'll be compatible in the future heavy hammer upgrade and for the auto cycle upgrade when we add the auto cycle feature to the Treadle Hammer Kit. And that'll all be this year, hopefully, by the end of 2023. All those upgrades will be out there. So we're going to go ahead and give away one of them Treadle Hammer Kits now. I don't know, Jess, are you showing it off right now?
Yeah.
That little picture. It's the very kit that I've been using this whole stream to take and do all this forging of various little hooks and stuff while my feet are bummed up.
Oh yes, and this is open to USA only, and you have to be 18 or older.
Yep, 18 years of age or older, I guess.
Yep.
Or have a parent or legal guardian get in there
Yeah.
and help you out. Sound good?
It does.
Are they commenting yet?
It's going crazy.
Is everybody happy?
They might just break the internet.
All right. Well, that's good. Let's hope. So let's go ahead and give away a Treadle Hammer Kit, shall we?
We shall.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
Extremely long.
Who do we have, Jess?
I landed on Rigid Ironworks with Hammer.
Rigid Ironworks, congratulations. You are a winner of one of our fine Treadle Hammer Kits, sir. Get with us through the contact email in the description, and we will get one sent out to you first thing Monday morning. Everybody give Rigid Ironworks a round of applause. You won a Treadle Hammer Kit from us. Even a blind squirrel finds a nut from time to time. Ain't that right?
That's right. Let's see. While we are waiting for the chat to calm down.
What's up?
I said while we are waiting for the chat to calm down.
Let's discuss the year of.
Yeah.
We kind of did that in reverse, didn't we?
Yeah, kind of did.
Just a little bit. Because I said it like an hour ago that I was going to discuss that. Never
Right.
got back around to it.
Right.
Okay, so the year of, if you haven't guessed it yet, and if you haven't surmised it yet, this year we actually decided this back in December that we were going to do this. This year, we are going to do the year of the Treadle hammer kit. So, or the year of the Treadle hammer. So we will be giving away 12 Treadle hammer kits this year. That's the goal. Ain't it?
That's correct.
Boom, we got you. So we'll be giving away 12 Treadle hammer kits this year throughout all of 2023. We will also be working with some other great brands and things and bringing some other great blacksmithing tooling to give away as well throughout our giveaway streams. And I'm, excited about offering blanks and again, buying in other tools and getting all rigged up and ready to go for our great Blacksmith Christmas giveaway live stream that we'll do at the very tail end of the year. And so we're all ready to go, ain't we, honey?
Yep.
So it's gonna be a good time. I hope everybody will join us for the year of the Treadle hammer kit. Keep coming back and doing more and more of these live streams. So it's a fun time to hang out, fun time to forge together, and watch the stream. And
Yep.
I promise, not all of them is me sitting on my tuckus.
You're still forging, so doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm still forging. That's right.
People were noticing that flux around you on the floor back there.
Oh, flux, yeah. Yeah, there's a little bit of flux on there. It's a habit. Oh, what else we got, babe?
Yes.
Comments.
Bob's Fab and Welding says, Roy and Jess, my question to you, how is your new year going?
How's our new year going? Good question. I would say, well, let's let Jessica answer first. How's your new year going, babe?
Oh, okay.
Well, let's
It's
ladies
been-
first.
Yeah. See, we're nearly 2 weeks into it now. It's been pretty good. Roy's folks have been in town visiting, so that's been probably the first 10 days of the new year. So that's been nice. A little slower of a pace. We're trying out some new routines and habits this year that we're getting into. It's been a little warmer here in Michigan than it seems like usual, so that's all right. And Roy and I are doing keto right now, keto diet, so giving that a go. Now,
This is really random, but I found my DJI extra wide angle lens finally.
It's always falling out.
It dropped off like 6 months ago.
Yeah?
Couldn't find it.
Uh-huh.
It's shattered.
Oh, okay. Huh.
Well, found it now.
Yeah.
Sorry, really random. Set that down. So, my year. Let's talk about it. My year so far has been pretty good, all things considering. I've kind of started off with some health issues with my feet and things, so which I'm not super happy about. I don't like being hobbled up. I like go, go, go mode. But I would say that it's been pretty darn blessed and productive, all things considering. Yeah, I mean, that's it. I really don't have any room to complain to anyone for anything. I don't. God has really taken care of me. He's blessed me really well. And so that's it. Little life issues, right, that we all go through in life. Little bumps and bruises along the way. Makes life more interesting, right?
Mm-hmm.
Can't always have salt. Sometimes you got to have a little pepper in there.
Little pepper flakes. Make it spicy.
Yeah. I would say the biggest thing that I have on my goal list this year, as far as exciting, that makes it a great new year, right? A great new year for me, is I have a lot of things, a lot of, I guess I would say, not only financial goals, but professional goals, personal professional goals in this shop for this year of 2023 into 2024. And I believe the professional goals is what I'm most excited about. That's what I'm most excited about, is my professional goals. I'm excited about what I'm going to do on YouTube for video work this year. I'm excited about my Masterwork grill that I'll be working on now through 2024. I'm going to show you a small sub-sampling of that. And here in just a second, I'm most excited for that because it's a real big, it's a reach for me because generally speaking, I put business first. So if that means I'm forging whatever, if I gotta mass produce something, you know, I've always put business and money first to keep the lights on, keep the family fed, things like that. And because of the great support of this blacksmithing community, because of the great support from God Almighty and loving wife and support of kids and just my family in general, I'm able to undertake a process I've been wanting to do, and I've been craving to do and yearning to do for probably bang on 6-7 years now. And so I'm able to, with the help of Thomas, working in the shop, taking care of some more of the apprentice level stuff in the shop, I'm able to get away a little bit more and really focus on what type of craftsman I would like to be in the next 35 years. And that's super exciting for me. And that's one thing I've been wanting to do forever. So I'm taking that first big leap this year. I've been taking little small leaps along the way, and I'm going to share that journey on YouTube as I go. But this is one of my very first big leaps of doing what I know that I know how to do, right? So it's one thing to say you know how to do something. It's one thing to just write a design and say, maybe someday I will get the time, which I lack so desperately, the time to do said thing. I'm putting it in action and putting actual wheels and grit into motion on that, you know what I mean? And that is what I'm most excited about for 2023. This is the Masterwork grill. Is slotted to take about 2 years. I'm assuming it's going to be about 2 years. At the end, there will be over 2,000 scrolls in it, and it will be a masterpiece. So, and that's 2,000 scrolls in roughly a 2x3 foot area. That might speak to a little bit of its elaborateness that I'll be doing. So I've got a little small sample over here laying on the anvil. Mm-hmm. Love to show them. Is that okay?
Yeah, go for it.
Can we show that?
Sure.
Show that off? Maybe I should zoom it in and refocus it a bit so we can.
Yeah,
or do you think it's all right? Is that good enough size?
Yeah, I think it works.
See that all right?
Yeah.
Okay. So here's just, this is like a little small sample of what I'm talking about. This isn't an actual piece for the grill, but it's what I'm doing or what I've chose to do. So, what's up there, beautiful?
Oh, I said I'll adjust it for you if you'd like.
You're gonna adjust it for me?
You can
Go
stay
ahead.
put.
You got that?
Yep.
In nice and tight?
Yuppers.
Is it in focus?
Yes.
Huh?
Yep, sure is.
Here, let me hold a sticker up. You sure?
Okay, yep, it's in focus.
Good in focus?
Uh-huh.
Okay. All right, hopefully you can see it. I can't see that at all. You gotta tilt the screen back up.
Oh, okay.
There, that's good. Now I can see a little bit better.
All right.
Okay, so this is a simple C-scroll. This has got some fishtails to it. It's kind of a fishtail C-scroll here. This is, again, just an example, I'm just talking about an example right now of what I'm doing. But this right here is where we really make the thing pop. So this here is a bit of 1/8 inch material. In fact, it's 4 pieces, 4 individual bars of 1/8 inch material. In fact, I've been doing a little Instagram and Facebook contest, if you will, where there's some prizes, a $100 gift card, a $75, and a $50 gift card for the top 3 people who get close enough to it over on Facebook and Instagram. You got to make it and you got to tag me in the post. But it's a 1/8 inch thick material, so it's 1/8 inch thickness that way. So I took 4 individual 1/8 inch square bars, I forge welded them together, and I created 3 different scroll finials on that. So it's kind of hard to even see at this small a detail, but there are 3 different scroll finials on this. So what is this for? Well, this is going to be a subject matter of my 2024 conference that I will be doing here soon. We'll get to that scheduling later on. I've agreed to doing a conference where this will be the subject matter of that conference. And I believe that's where, Jess? Is that Tennessee or?
Which one?
2024 conference.
Tennessee, I believe, yeah.
I believe it's in Tennessee, yes. So we haven't put that on the website yet because we're still hashing out some details there. But I will be doing a small section of this, or I'll still be working on my masterwork grill, so I'll be basically talking about filigree work. So this filigree work goes inside the much bigger scroll, like so. And so the entirety, if you will, you look at it more on that end, so the entirety of my grill will have this kind of work. It's going to have a larger scroll form that tells a story, and then it's going to have smaller filigree work that fills or as an infill to set up a backdrop that will tell a story. And that'll be my masterwork grill.
Seth asked how you get them to fit so well together.
Patience. Patience, lots of time. So I plan on bringing my community along for the ride. I won't be able to do a full, it'll be like a 4,000 part series, so I'm not going to do that. I'm going to focus on very specific elements of the Masterwork Grill as I go along, and I will release those as I go along, as I have interest to do so, and depending on how well they go. Generally, this type of work is hated by everybody on YouTube, so they nobody watches it. There'll be like 400 people that will watch this video, and then that'll be it. They'll go on to watching their Damascus knives being made. So it's not a very popular subject on YouTube, but I'm going to do my best to share with my die-hard fans some of the work that I'll be doing for my Masterwork Grill. This isn't all that will be included in it. There's going to be acanthus sleeves, there's going to be grotesques, there's going to be collars, there's going to be capitals, pedestals, there are going to be columns, there will be all sorts of French Baroque goodness in my masterwork. So it will be a feast for the eyes. Don't do that. Get rid of that pedal. Unexpected hammer blows are not your best friend.
Yes, don't leave your hand on there. I think
Yeah.
it was possum.
Are you at camera number 1, please?
Yes,
Yeah.
camera 1.
What's up?
Here we go. Possum Sausage has said his dad had set his hand somewhere he wasn't supposed to on equipment, and I think lost some fingers. So he was earlier on. He was like, "Tell Roy to watch out."
Yeah,
So
yeah.
he
No,
keeps
I'm
his fingers.
watching out for it. So, problem is I'm kind of like tripped up with camera cords and air hoses and
in a very small spot.
yeah, a very small spot to get this shot that you're looking at here. So,
Leland Hawk, thank you for the $10 super chat. Says for
Thank
the
you,
new
Leland.
year shipping cost.
thank you. Greatly appreciate that, Leland.
Robert Lannis sent a $20 super chat and says thanks Roy, Jess, and Thomas.
Thank you very much, Robert. Greatly appreciate it, brother.
And Metal Man's Production says sent a $10 super chat and said thanks Christ-centered Ironworks and have a good night.
Very, very welcome, Metal Man Productions. I hope you have a wonderful evening as well. God bless you. Thank you for that. So, what's people saying about it?
Let's see about the scrolls. Let me go to that area. Boom, boom, boom. Trip Wyckoff says, wow, that's impressive. How will you connect them?
Well, that's the trick, ain't it? There's different methods that I will have to connect them at different junctures in the overall design. But one of the ways of connecting them is leaving a forge welded on tab that you slot punch the scroll that it goes to and you peen it over like a tenon. So you leave an extra bit of material, you forge weld on a bit of mass in the back that then goes inside the scroll material, and on the outside of the scroll you peen it, you file it smooth, and then when you go to finish the piece, all of that disappears as in one basically it all makes one smooth look to it, and you hide your work that way. So there'll be sections where I'll have to do it like that. There'll be sections where it will be with other scrolls and going under collars. And so when it goes under the collar work, there's no point, it'll be connected to the other scrolls via pinning and then go under a collar that will then be set and probably either brazed, or it just might be hot set and then, you know, peened enough to where peened and filed so the overlap, if you will, disappears on it. So it's going to have several different methods throughout the design of attaching it there.
GWI Railroad says, thank you, Roy and Jess. Awesome live stream again. God bless you and everyone here. Our internet is fading in and out, so I'll see you next month.
Take care, GWI Railroad. Thank you for being here. So,
have a good night, Daniel Dubaka.
Have a good night, Daniel. Oh.
Jackson Gibson, yes, we gave away the Treadle hammer already, but we still have stickers.
Yep, we still have some stickers to give away. On that note, I also want to say about 2023 here. So it was a fairly popular thing during the Christmas live stream. We did a members stream for all the channel members that subscribe. Tonight we're not going to do a members stream because, well, it's just not convenient right now for us to do a member stream. But we're going to do a member stream probably with the next live stream. We'll be set up for that. And we're going to call those the stream after the stream. Or, I don't know what, we got to come up with some little catchy title for it.
That's pretty catchy how it is.
Is it? Stream after the stream. Mm-hmm. Stream after dark. Yeah. The stream after the smithing. I don't know.
Yeah, we'll go with stream after the stream. Otherwise, it gets kind of questionable.
It gets kind of questionable. Okay, well, it'll be the stream after the stream. So, with giveaway live streams, a lot of times it gets pretty busy and hectic in the comment section. And for a lot of people, they like to have that slow down and let's just chat and ask a ton of questions versus having to banter back and forth over people saying pick me or whatever comment for the live streams. So we're going to be offering that for our membership, for our members in 2023 as a way of adding additional value there for people who are supporting us on a monthly basis. Because all of last year I was a terrible human being and I really didn't do much for my channel members to make their perks worth it, so to speak. So I want to do a better job about that this year and give a little extra content, a little extra just hangout time and things like that. Since they are so nice to support us, right? Since they are so generous to give us their support on a constant monthly basis, I want to, do a members only stream after our regular streams on Friday Night Live. So, yep. Which those, in case you're wondering, are just us hanging out on our couch answering your burning questions. That's it. So.
That's right.
There you go.
Somebody said, people are dropping off like flies. That's right. For those of you who have seen the shorts come out, I'm curious to think what you think about how YouTube presents them to you. Are they sending them as notifications, or do you just kind of run across them if you've seen any of our shorts as of late? Kind of curious to hear some feedback on that.
Yeah. Also, I'd like to say this. Jessica is responsible for all the shorts on this channel. So
yes, all right.
She's been putting those together. Yeah, I do the larger videos. I've been doing those for years now. Shorts may be the thing in the future, but I got enough junk on my plate. I don't need to be messing around with shorts too. So I've been letting Jessica do the majority of the shorts, and I've been focusing, well, she does all the shorts, and I've just been specifically focusing on getting good content, regular longer form video content out there. So you'll see short content in between the longer form content, and it's a great way of highlighting the 1,800 plus videos we have on the channel.
It's kind of like a little commercial for all our previous videos. So in each of those, in the description, I have the link to the full video and when it was posted, if you're curious. Also, most of those shorts plus more are reels on Instagram. So if you like 60-second videos of forging, you can find us over at Christ-Centered Ironworks also and get tons more videos like that.
Yep.
Okay, Drew Wilson says he gets every short I put out.
Huh.
All right, good. Also, we have not yet talked about our St. Jude stuff.
No, we haven't talked about our St. Jude's thing yet, so we'll do that real quick. Let's give away a few stickers first, honey, before we do the St. Jude thing.
Okay.
That way we can get that out of the way. Just because I want to give them away. You want to go to camera number 2?
Sure.
Okay, so we're going to go ahead and give away some sticker packs real quick, and then we're going to talk about our St. Jude charitable giving that we finished out the last year of 2022 with. So we're going to go ahead and give away some sticker packs right now. If you want some stickers, comment, sticker me please. And if your name gets drawn, then you will get some stickers sent to you. Easy as that. Simple as pumpkin pie.
That's
Ready?
right. Yep.
Go to the main cam.
All right.
All right. Are they commenting?
They are.
In 3, 2, 1, go.
Slow and steady.
Who do we have, Jess?
All right, we have Roger Caldwell with Sticker Me.
Roger Caldwell. Congratulations. You're a winner of our fine sticker pack, sir. Get with us. Contact email in the description. Ready to do another one?
Yep, ready.
In 3, 2, 1. Who do we have?
Stephen Adams with Sticker Me Please.
Stephen Adams. Congratulations. You are the winner of another fine set of stickers. Sticker you've been pleased. Get with us. Contact email in the description. Mm-hmm. And let's do the last one, shall we?
All right.
Who do we have, Jess?
All right, we have Abigail Rocha Zamporipa. Sorry, I probably didn't pronounce it, but Abigail.
Abigail. Congratulations. You won some stickers. Get with us through the contact email in the description, and we'll get those sent out to you. All right, well, that takes care of all the giveaway stuff.
Yep.
So now let's talk about the other forms of giving we did, eh?
All right, and by the way, Seth Methamphetamines, welcome to the Bellows Boy.
Hey, hey, welcome. Welcome, Seth.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you for the support. All right, what do you want to say about it?
Yes, okay. Oh, yes, you're waiting. Okay. So for those of you who have been around on the channel towards the end of last year, you probably noticed that we did our St. Jude announcement back around the beginning of November, and we said that anybody used the code St. Jude, we are going to donate 10% from their order to St. Jude, and then we also gave a 10% discount to the customer. And so that ran through the beginning of November up till Christmas Day. And so we actually just made our contribution for that at the tail end of December. And so thanks to everybody's help, you know, the total we were able to donate was $1,525.91, which was a big increase from last year. So that was really awesome that everybody, you know, got to be a part of that.
Yeah. So thank you all for your support on that. That was awesome. Felt good to write the checks to that and be able to make that happen. You know, so thank you everyone for that. I hope to constantly increase. It may not be St. Jude's next year or this upcoming year. We may pick, because we've done that 2 years in a row. So we may end up doing a different charity or maybe even a few different charities to take and donate to. But we try to increase our end of the year giving as we get closer to the end of the year, and especially around the holidays. You know, we try to increase all forms of giving that we do, and not only here on the channel, but personally as well in our own personal home. So, you know, if that's something that interests you and you want to get a part of that, you know, be sure to be on the lookout for those things and those opportunities to do that with us and partner with us. You know, it's a relatively small group of people can have a very large impact. Really can. And it's kind of crazy the things that get funded nowadays that aren't even charitable.
Mm-hmm,
You know, the things that go off the hook and are insane. And
Oh,
you know.
shouldn't we tell them about our little idea that,
Oh,
we,
yeah.
that we had?
Yeah. Yeah, you go ahead and tell them about that. Yeah.
Yeah, Roy, sometimes he jokes. We like to go out and see lighthouses, and if you follow us on Instagram, sometimes you'll see we post pictures of ourselves at lighthouses, and because we live near the Great Lakes and there's lots of lighthouses. Well, Roy said before, like, you know, oh, maybe when we retire one day, we're going to move out to, you know, maybe an island and be the lighthouse blacksmith, you know, kind of thing. And I'm like, oh yeah, that would be neat. So it actually turns out that a lighthouse on an island just became available, and this particular one is very close to us. It's actually in Alpena, it's off the shore of Alpena, which is about 30 minutes to the north of us. But it's like a 250-acre island with a lighthouse and then like 2 keepers' houses. And but the catch is, it's like $3.9 million, and so we just kind of had a fun evening, like daydreaming, like, oh, what would we do if we were running a lighthouse on an island? You know, what kind of blacksmith shop or school, or you know, what we would do out of that. So it was kind of a fun little daydream thing.
Yeah.
We did.
Yeah,
but,
fun little thought experiment.
But
you know.
funding on that, we're like, oh well, people have been funded for similar type projects on GoFundMe, so
Yeah.
it's just funny.
Yeah. Well, and the interesting thing is we worked it out that if every subscriber on the channel kicked in $47, that's it, $47, that would be right around like $3.9 million right there. Mm-hmm. $47, isn't that insane? Mm-hmm. So group funding of things like with charitable stuff. I'm not talking buying Roy a lighthouse or an island, okay? Well, that's not what we're talking about here. But group funding charitable things like charitable organizations, or helping, you know, smiths that get put out because they have shop fires, or, you know, group funding for, you get what I'm saying, like people who are in a bad spot. That's a powerful metric if it's used correctly, and, you know, it can be life-changing and altering, you know, with very little effort per person put in, right? You know, the old saying, many hands make light work of stuff. And I guess it just goes back to the same thing like this channel. This channel has always been viewer-funded, you know, and we live on your support. And we put all that support to good use, and we put it into all the giveaways, and we put it into all the shipping for the giveaway items, and it's a viewer-funded endeavor, and like, I mean, that's a powerful thing. So we really couldn't do it without y'all. We really couldn't do it without all the channel members. We just couldn't, could we? We just couldn't do it. We would not be able to do it on the scale that we have been able to do, and I hope to continue to increase in you know, helping smiths get their start in blacksmithing and get good tools into the hands of well-meaning and well-deserved smiths that need those tools, right? You know, I look forward to doing that. We've had a few items last year in our year of just our year of the forge. We've had it in the year of the anvil. We had it in the year of the swedge, where a smith won, but they already had that item. And what did they do? They gave it to somebody that they knew that was just getting started in it. And had we not been able to make those contacts to get that charitable donation in order for us to pay for the shipping, for that charitable donation to go out to that smith, they wouldn't have been able to give of it so freely to a brand new guy getting started that they knew. And so see how all that kind of works together and connects. And I hope that the smithing industry can get more on that plane and help each other out in the world of smithing, not only in knowledge but in tools. You know, I mean, you'd be amazed at how well your junky pair of tongs you had that you made 12 years ago would bless a beginning smith that doesn't have a first clue on how to make a pair of tongs. You'd be surprised. So just doing a tool share like that could be huge. Just in your own local group. Just ask, hey, what's everybody have need of? you don't have to be at the point where you can give away anvils and give away hammers and power hammers and things like that. But you can give away a pair of tongs, maybe an old set of chisels you used to use all the time, and you know, you dress them up a little nice and make them for somebody. It takes just a little bit of effort, and you can make all the difference in someone's course. And then what do? They pass that along. They make a difference with somebody else. So, yeah. So thank you. Oh, that's a long-winded way of just saying thank you. Just thank you for the help with the St. Jude stuff. Thank you for all of the year of 2022, and all of the support, because we wouldn't have been able to bash it out like we did. It was the largest giveaway live stream we did ever, to date, on this channel, to date. The most amount of money that was sent out in material value as far as giveaway items. It was literally the largest to date.
Yep.
It was crazy. And so, yeah, so thank you. Thank you.
Let's see, Darren, we are using the Ceramonic Blink 500 Pro microphones.
Yep.
Robert Lannis said, he just won the lottery. He'd buy it for us.
Yeah, he just won the lottery. Yeah. No, the interesting thing about that, the interesting thing, and that was part of the thought experiment, sometimes it's good to do little thought experiments like that. Even if you got the $3.9 million out of GoFundMe to make an island like that happen, we calculated what the tax per year would be on an island like that, and that's just property tax. The property tax came out to nearly $39,000 a year for that expensive of a property.
Yeah.
And with everything that's going on there. So, yeah, just the taxes alone would eat you out of house and home.
Yeah, you'd have to run a successful business out of it for it to pay for itself. Otherwise, you have to just be extremely wealthy.
Yeah.
To be
You
able
would
to
have to run, you would have to make on the order of several $100K a year to make that even a possibility. So probably 300, 400, 500K a year to even make that a possibility. And you're going to be house poor or island poor because of it. So
yeah, we're teasing about Thomas having to commute.
Yeah, have to swim the channel to get to work every day.
It's only 1.5 miles offshore.
He'd get himself a canoe.
He probably would.
That'd be his aerobic exercise for the day.
Then his arms would be worthless.
For the rest of the day.
Foraging.
As he goes out that 2 miles, 2.5 miles.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. No, it's fun to have musings like that. You know, you never know when you work out other thought processes in your head along the way. We find those to be helpful, don't we, honey? From time to time to just do idle musings like that.
Yep.
So that when something actually more in the realm of reality shows up on your doorstep, maybe you'll think about it a little bit different, you know, not just go jump before you look.
All right.
Yep.
Seth ADHD says good cardio. It would be
good cardio. Be swimming the channel. If I did get it, I'd rename it to Blacksmith Island, though.
It would have to be definitely Blacksmith Island instead of Middle Island.
Oh yeah, Blacksmith Island.
Thomas says jet skis.
Jet skis. While we're at it, personal helicopter. Hey. Go land on the roof of the local Walmart with the helicopter. Have them install a pad just so you can come in and get your bread and milk.
Yeah. Peter Watson said, wanted a lighthouse, had to settle for a tent with a flashlight. Make finger puppets, make it look like a lighthouse.
And if it's on a hill, you can signal ships as they pass by. They might think you're in distress, but...
Drew Wilson says, we love y'all not for the free stuff and giveaways, but for your knowledge and giving of yourself. Roy, Jess, you bless so much. I know where I will see you if I never meet you in this world.
Greatly appreciate that. Thank you so much. Well, you know where you'll see Jess. Me, I'm still on the, well, we'll see. We're on the we'll see list. I don't know about that guy. I think I'm on that list.
Kyle Jones says Blacksmith Island sounds like a reality show. Chris Schaefer says Blacksmith Paradise Island. Blacksmith Paradise Island.
Blacksmith Paradise Island. Yeah.
Sounds like the beginning of a tongue twister.
It is.
Leland Hawk, this week on Blacksmith Island.
See, you guys are thinking about it, right? He'd be like, this week on Blacksmith Island, the tax man comes to take it all. Because Roy didn't pay his $39,000 bill. Will he survive? Will he evade?
Yeah.
Jim, the tax guy? No, he won't.
We better hope our accountant's real good.
Yeah. If you went from making what we make a year to all of a sudden buying a $3.9 million island,
question.
you're being audited.
Yes.
That's going to happen.
That's for sure.
You're going to have people in little black suits
Yep.
show up at your door. Be like, what type of drugs are you dealing?
Mm-hmm. Reed, yeah, we have the fundamentals on a list. If you look under the playlist section of our videos, you can find it. Or you can also type in
So much clearer.
fundamentals, Christ-centered Ironworks, and the YouTube search bar, and the videos will come up that way as well.
Yeah.
Corey says, yeah, Roy, with your own island, you can you can host Forged in Fire, LOL.
Yeah. Island edition.
Oh, yeah, there you go.
Oh, yeah.
Where's Yamaz when this conversation
I'm only going to charge them like $18 million to do that. My mom and dad, they were part of the little, brainstorming thing. Like, oh, you could sell off shares of the island, like, yeah. Like, see this rock? Your $47 just earned you that rock right there. Boom. See that? That's your home right there. Bam, $47.
Yep.
Look around, quick Instagram. See all them rocks? That's all the other contributors.
Roy wants everybody to dress in Victorian period dress.
Yeah, Victorian period dress on the island, Blacksmith Island. Oh, man. We probably just totally gave up the golden goose on that. Now there's going to be
Somebody's
a
gonna
TV
do
series that's someone's going to do it, some network producer out there. We're like, hey, I got this idea from some random guy on the internet. God, I hate that. That's a rant for another day, but man, I hate that. Don't do that. If you get an idea for somebody or a concept for constructing something, be honest, where you put some effort into it when you make it and share and post about it on Facebook or Instagram. Don't just say, found it from some random person on the internet. No, it wasn't just some random person on the internet. They had a name.
All right.
Like, you don't learn a hammer technique from some random guy on the internet. He probably had a name, or she had a name. Mm-hmm. Take time to know it, because they helped you out. It's great. Don't do that.
Yep.
But TV execs would do that, so this way they don't have to say that they got the idea from you. They'd be like, well, we saw this somewhere, a random idea in a random live stream on a random day, couldn't tell you who. Mm-hmm. It's called Blacksmith Island.
Yep, right.
Yeah. So if you see a TV show, let us know. Mm-hmm. Because I'll say I mentioned it. We have proof. We have live streaming proof.
That's right. Might even be that same island. They're like, ooh, that's a nice island.
Make them pay me royalties.
Yeah. I think it's like a 12-bedroom house. So, I mean, it really would be cool as a craft school. But Anywho.
You're not searching it over there, are you?
Oh yeah, it's just showing a few pictures.
Oh, are you?
Yeah.
You can't do that. We're not trying to buy this island, people. We can't afford to buy the island or pay the taxes on it. So no, don't start no GoFundMe's, and no, we ain't buying no island. So I'm perfectly happy where I'm at here in northern Michigan. So
Down under Farm and Forge says, I give credit when I steal your ideas, Roy.
exactly. You know, say some rando weirdo on the internet did this once, I think, maybe. But ain't I great? I made this thing. See? You get plenty of credit.
There you go. That might be a good live stream name for the live stream after the stream. Random Roy Thoughts. Or Random Roy. Random Roy?
A random moment with a random Roy. The Roy rant stream. People go around have the misconception that I'm angry all the time. Mm-hmm. That would do it. Why is he always ranting? No, it's literally just a dude talking in his living room. He's not ranting about things. Mm-hmm. Anyways, what else? We good?
I think we're good. I have a poem to close this out.
Okay, so
Yeah.
Jessica's got a poem.
Mm-hmm. I do.
Awesome.
Awesome.
You can see,
I
turned off that forge, and you can see how much colder it got in this little corner.
Yeah, they said they saw that. Since,
it's cold.
I will say before I read the poem, we only have our 55 peoples left.
Okay, only 55 so peoples.
Yes. So do you think, what would you think about giving them a little hint about what's about to happen on Monday? Do you care to share that or leave that secret for later?
Refresh my memory. What's about to happen on Monday?
It's a secret. It's so secret he doesn't
It's so
even know.
secret. I don't know. News to me, Jessica.
The one thing that
Is it appropriate for children under the age of 13?
It is, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the one thing that you've been working on, designing and creating as of late.
Ah,
Yeah,
that thing.
that thing.
Ah,
The thing that you've forgotten all about.
a short
Poor
snippet.
little project.
Yes, such a quaint little project. Should I show it off or
You can
get
if
it
you want.
and bring it in and
You
showcase
can,
it
if you can come over without
with the
tripping all over
55 people?
cords.
Well, I'll walk it through here
Walk it through
and
there.
set it. Well, I'll balance it on the edge of the anvil. Then, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll do that. Ugh.
For you guys who stuck around,
You get to see a sneak peek of a new product.
sneak peek. Yes, High Desert. Don't forget to send your info for the beeswax.
Yes.
See, I'll mention everybody's names again. Treadle Hammer Kit was won by Rigid Ironworks, as was 3 anvil hooks. 3 German anvil hooks were won by Bearfire Forge. 3 bottle openers to Seth Piper. 3 bottle openers to... Why did I write the word bottle openers next to it? Oh my. Stickers to Roger Caldwell, Stephen Adams, and Abigail. Beeswax to Quack 6, High Desert Forge, Katana Guy, and Robert Launis. It does, Leland Hawk. It does pay to stick around. Roger Caldwell. I think I have your address. I would have to check. So it doesn't hurt to just go ahead and shoot it around.
Coming in hot.
Coming in hot.
Hey,
Just barely fit.
just barely fits there, hey?
Mm-hmm.
All right, can they see that all right?
Yes.
Okay, so this is a product that I've been working on in collaboration with Derek Melton over on Instagram, Melton Forge Works. I believe he's got a YouTube channel as well. And so he designed and made a mini swedge block that was super popular amongst his subscribership. And basically I decided I wanted to make a stand for it. And not only did I want to make a stand for his swedge block, but I wanted to make a swedge block stand for all available mini swedges out there, that you can purchase on the market. So this will be on the website come Monday. For those, I'm giving you all a sneak peek for all of you that are around. Derek Melton, he's going to kind of time his stuff with that and talk about it as soon as I give him a price on this kit. We just got to take pictures of it. I've already worked out the price on it, and he's gotten his, and he's going to weld it together, and he's going to shout it out and stuff, which is pretty cool. It's fun working with Derek. He's a great guy to work with. So basically, this stand, you can put these swedge blocks in here, these mini swedges. They can be done in this orientation, and it has enough room for 4 swedge blocks in the kit. So it has an upper area and a lower area. I don't know if you can show that off, Jess, on the secondary cam there.
A little bit. It shows the tray.
You see the tray there? Here, we'll back that up. Come on, baby.
There you go. Yeah.
Feel better?
Yep.
We'll focus it back in.
Yeah.
Clear as mud? Look good? Looks good.
Yeah.
Yeah? Cool. Okay, so it has a tray down here that you can put your additional blocks down into. Derek eventually plans on doing 4 versions of his swedge block. And so I'll show off that swedge block here just a second. So his swedge block is this one right here. This is the Derek Melton mini swedge that he made. It's a really nice swedge block. I got in on the order on that right as soon as it got in. He's got some more coming, and more of these, and he'll have them on his website. And then he's also got a version 2 that he's got already drawn up, and hopefully going to have that made here soon. So you know me, I'm kind of a swedge block nut, so I like that. So it holds his. So not only does it hold his, but it holds Holland Anvil's mini swedges perfectly. So there's a Holland Anvil mini swedge block. Greg and Hobie sent that to me just as a gift, show their support, and so greatly appreciate that. So not only will it hold all those, but it will also hold an Oak Lawn little mini swedge block. So there's a little mini swedge block for an Oak Lawn Blacksmith. He's another fairly popular tool maker there. And so there's an Oak Lawn Blacksmith swedge block. They're all roughly the same size. The Holland and the Oak Lawn are 1.5 inches in dimension by 5 by 5. So it's 5 by 5 by 1.5 inches. So both the Holland and Oak Lawn Blacksmith shop is that 1.5 inches by 5 by 5. And then the Melton swedge block is a little bit thicker. The Melton swedge block is a little bit thicker. It's a 5 by 5 by 2 inch thick material. And all of these fit perfectly in that way. So you can have one laying down and do work, and then you can have a other side here where you're doing some swedge work or whatever you need to do. And it fits both these relatively good. It holds both these in really, really well. And this is a fully welded together kit. So it comes with everything you need to put it together. It's got the logo. It's got areas, so basically it has 2 angle iron pieces, it has 5 1/4 inch by 2 inch pieces, and it has 2 1/4 inch by 1 pieces here, and also it has weld-on foot tabs that are already pre-cut and already have a hole in them. I don't know if they can see that there or not. Can they see the holes?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it has all of that. That's what the kit's going to come with and consist of. And this whole thing is made from 1/4 inch plate. So it's all from 1/4 inch plate. This is a pretty cool thing. Let me go back to camera number 1. So this is a pretty cool thing. Just kind of designed it on a whim, made it. I'm eventually going to offer a much larger version to hold the large swedge blocks, like, larger swedge blocks, like Holland Anvil swedge blocks or Green Monegals or any of the other larger, forging blocks that you can get out there. I plan on scaling this kit up to be able to do those at some point. But this will be officially released on Monday. So for anybody who's went out and got a Melton swedge block, anybody who has these mini swedge blocks on hand, or have a boatload of different miniature sledge blocks on hand, this is going to be a great stand, and very, very heavy duty. So kind of went overkill on it. I could have probably got away with doing, 10 gauge material for the sides and just have the 1/4 inch material, and you just tack weld it up, and it would be plenty strong for these small blocks. But, I figured, hey, while we're at it, we might as well give it all the strength in the world that we can, make it out of some 1/4 inch plate, and also add all the 1/4 inch supports and the struts in here. So this way it can really take a beating on here. So, yeah. What's up, babe?
Keith from Possum Sausage says, could you do a giveaway for those of us who are here after the big giveaway? I'd like to donate a pair of flat jaw tongs, and I'll ship them to anyone in the lower 48. I meant to make a pair of tongs for your January giveaway anyway. This will just save on shipping by going directly to the winner. So he's saying we could draw for a winner, and then he'd ship it directly to them.
Oh, do that?
A pair of tongs.
Okay, yeah. We could do that, Keith. That'll work. And saves on shipping, not having to ship it to me first. I'll take it. Ain't gonna hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
So, do you want to do that real quick?
Uh-huh.
Let me get that out of the way. It's heavy when it's full of sledge blocks.
Yeah,
Put it somewhere.
On top of the forge?
Yeah, I don't trust it over there.
Oh,
Put it on
too
top
heavy?
of Thomas's anvil.
Okay. It's working on some cross hooks.
Well, what did anybody say about the stand? Kind of jumped across on me there, girl. I was on one train of thought.
Okay. I will tell you what they said about the stand. Bar Run Forge says Derek makes some great stuff.
Yeah, he does.
Iron Ivy Forge, is there a link for the sledge blocks he makes? Which I had responded. I said he has a website and an Instagram, but I believe, I don't think he has them currently for sale, as he does them in batches. So whenever he does another batch.
Yeah, they're all sold out right now. They were a pretty popular item. He had 39 of them, I think, or 38 of them for sale, and they all sold out within 24 hours. So they're a pretty popular item. My best way to do is just get a hold of him, say you're interested in one. I think he has a wait list somewhere, and go over to Derek and get a hold of him that way.
Kyle Jones says that's cool. Joshua Rivas says I like it. Eric says
Awesome.
gonna have to look up his sledge blocks. Been looking at the Holland Anvil ones. Eric says he also had a podcast where he did.
Yeah.
Athol Ironworks. So yeah, that reminds me, I'm gonna get one from Holland.
Cool. Yep. Holland makes a good block too. He makes a really good mini block. That little Holland block that I have is a very smooth casting. I really appreciate the time that went into making a really nice cast and a good pour on that. All blocks need surface finish. You need to turn them into perfectly smooth items yourself, so just expect to do that with any commercially made sledge block. Even my green Monagle, it's one of the cleanest castings I've ever seen of green Monagles, but I even had to get in there and do some sandpaper work and some drum sanding and clean up the various casting flaws, because they're just one of those items. If they fully machine them perfect for you, they would just be prohibitively expensive. So just keep that in mind when you get them. You're going to spend a little bit of time with an angle grinder and smoothing off edges and kind of dressing the block the way that you want to work it with your style, which is a perfectly normal. It's what you do with them. So they're not kind of like anvils. You have to dress your edges. Maybe you might have to take and treat your horn to get a little more curvature to it. Professional anvils, they'll come with sharp edges, and then you'll have to dress those to however you like. And so just like with that, sledge blocks just have a lot more surfaces of tooling options that you'll have to dress and make your own. So.
And Down Under Farm and Forge says, what's it like for noise when forging?
What is that, blocks?
Yeah, what kind of sound does the stand make? Like, is it high-pitched or?
It's going to sound like metal on a stand, I would imagine. I haven't hit anything on it just yet. I'll go set it down. I'll get back with that of what it sounds like on a stand. I'll put it on a wood block because that's the way that one's going to be mounted. It's going to be mounted on a wood block, and I'll give her a little testaroo.
Yeah,
so
we might do. Do you think it's going to have like a little video around it at some point?
Yeah, I'll be doing a full video on it at some point, and then that way I can showcase what it'll actually sound like. But we were going to draw, weren't we? For
Yes, everybody's commenting.
Yeah,
It slowed
everybody's
down.
commenting
They
for.
got tired.
Okay, everyone's commenting for the flat jaw tongs from Possum Sausage. So Possum Sausage, thank you, sir, Keith. Greatly appreciate it, brother, for wanting to contribute in that way and support the smithing community. A pair of flat jaw tongs. So. All right, we ready?
Yes, ready.
And we'll do this draw for him, and then we will send you your info as soon as we get it to him so he can send you a pair of tongs.
That's right.
Sound good?
Yep.
And 3, 2, 1, go.
I was like, was that the final one? I don't know.
Who do we have now?
Kyle Jones with Tong.
Kyle Jones, congratulations. Tongs, you are the winner of a pair of flat jaw tongs from Possum Sausage, a.k.a. Keith. A.k.a. the main man, the main myth, the legend. Oh, thank you, Keith, for that. And congratulations, Kyle Jones. Comment section, get with us through the contact link in the description down below. You know the drill, or you should by now. You've been around the channel long enough. You ought to know. Unless it's a different Kyle Jones.
I don't know.
I imagine they make more Kyle Jones out there, don't they?
Suppose so.
I'm going to put this swedge block on this little wooden block down here. I'll put this stand on here, and then I'll give it a few whacks, a few rat-a-tat-tats. Hoi! I do not recommend moving this thing around
Loaded?
fully loaded with 4
Yeah,
swedge
your
blocks
foot
on her
probably
there.
Doesn't like that.
She's heavy. All right. So what would I use? I need something that has a go-between. Do that maybe. A round rod. Round rod. We'll see how she sounds. Hammer.
Come on.
Can everybody see?
Yeah.
How's that sound to you?
About like you'd expect.
About like you expect. Kind of tinny. It doesn't have a ring. It just has, like, if you hit some plate steel on edge cold, like if you're hitting
Bit of
cold
a
metal.
Sound,
I imagine the rattle sound would actually go away if you're using hot material to some degree. That's going to buffer some of that sound. And if I turn this up on, like if you just hammer on something, I mean, that's a little louder because it's on the flat, so there's more resonance there, but not too bad.
Yeah.
You would still probably want to put, probably a magnet would stop a lot of that. You could put a good heavy magnet on this, you know. It's going to have some harmonics to it. So it has the most amount of ring when the thing's in the flat position versus when it's in the vertical position. So something to think about there. You can obviously do wood. Wood will be the quietest stand that you can put things on. But really when you're using a swedge block, you're not going whole hams forging things in a swedge block. You know, you're cleaning up collars, you're doing collar work. Maybe you're using, like with the Melton Mini Swedge, you're using the 1-inch Hardy shank hole in it to refine a shoulder on a bit of Hardy tooling you're making or something like that. Generally speaking, that's what you use swedge blocks for. You're forming dishes and bowls. That's kind of what you're using a swedge block for. And so you're not really swinging for the fences. I wouldn't expect any sledgehammer work to be done on this stand. I wouldn't do that myself personally. that is your own problem if you do that. Your welding better be good. Yeah, no, I think it'll be a great stand for some people out there who want that, and it'll be a nice quick thing. And you know, it'll be fairly economical as well. So when I say fairly economical, I'm trying to make it as economical as possible. So it'll be $100 or under will be the price on it. So you can't go out and make it yourself for that. Can't. You may have a bunch of cheap steel laying around and you might be able to come close to a facsimile, but it comes with everything you need to weld it together. The weld project on it is about a 15 to 20 minute put together thing for the stand. So, yep. Now I made it where it has enough length to do 2 swedge blocks up top and 2 underneath for stowage. So if you had 4 miniature swedge blocks, you would have that. You could push more material through the hole and make it just a singular 1 up top, 1 underneath stand, or you can take and get the same size material but longer and make it an even longer tray to hold multiple little swedge blocks and multiple different things. Again, I highly suggest you go check out Derek Melton, you know, he'll have more information as you go along with the thing like that. But that will be offered on the website. It's kind of one of the first new pieces of tooling for the year of 2023. The second new piece of tooling for the year of 2023 that you want to be on the lookout for will be the upgrade for this Treadle hammer kit. That will be coming very, very soon. So be on the lookout for that. That's going to be awesome. Beyond that, I have a few other tooling things I'd like to say that I have plans on. I don't know whether I'll be doing it this year or next, or by the end of this year. I have some forge kits that I plan on offering, and I have some coal forge, so some gas forge kits and some coal forge kits I plan on offering in this year. And these are going to be not your average forge. These are going to be heavy duty, professional model, professional grade forge kits. Because I have the ability and I have the access to the tools and equipment to do so, and I think there needs to be something out there that kind of competes in the market with all the cheaper forge options out there. So something that brings professional quality to the lower end market, right? So it doesn't have to be $9,000 when you go look at the forge and it's like, oh, well, how much is that gas forge? $1,500, right? So professional quality brought down to more of a you know, economical price point. So that's my goal for this year, 2023. So I've got a lot of cool stuff coming. I hope everybody's excited about that as I am. What do you think, hon?
Yeah, I think so.
People say they're excited or what?
We'll be in there for the coal forge kits. Odabaka Maker says they'll be in there for it.
Oh yeah.
Yep.
Cool. So, yeah, I'm between 2 designs right now, and I'll just pick the community's brains for anybody who's watching this on the thing to do the hive mind. I'm between 2 separate designs. I'm planning on offering a fire pot, kind of just a straight up fire pot kit / tweer, whatever, where all you gotta do is hook a blower onto it, and you're just in business, right? That's it. You drop it into your own body, your own forge body. And then I'm in between just doing that as an option, or doing that and having a full body forge kit. So it would be an entire forge, like the entire package. And basically all you have to do is weld it together. It'd be a quick weld job, and it would encompass, not only would it have the hood, it'd have the forge pan, it'd have the forge, it would have the fire pot, the tweer, the legs that go with it. It would be adjustable, clinker breakers. It would have all of that together in one kit, is what I'm thinking. Obviously, that's a bit more that's a bit more ambitious. That's a bit more of an ambitious project to take on, but I think there's room out there for that. And you know, because by the time you're done designing your own forge, and I've seen a lot of janky homemade models, and it's okay to work off of a janky homemade forge And, you know, there's less and less historic forges being available other than like the little small rivet forges that you can get a hold of. And then there's just a really big gap between that and a professionally made coal forge. There's a huge gap. It's a leap, a big leap. You're going from homemade, you made it out of a brake drum for $50, and then you jump to buying a professionally made one for like over $2,000. Like $50 to $2,000, there's got to be something in the middle there. There's got to be something that can be made in the middle there of that quality. And I'm not saying trying to reinvent the wheel, just making the wheel accessible is the big, is the big key there.
Yep.
So, what's people's thoughts on that?
Let's see. Leland Hawk says both options would be good. Eddie Smith can't wait for the coal forge kit. Selwyn says forges are insanely expensive right now. Glad to hear you will be adding competition to the market, especially for the new guys.
Yeah. You know, that's what it's all about. It's all about bringing some competition to the market. With all respect, with all due respect to the guys, to the people of industry that's been doing it for 15, 20, 30 years, okay? With all due respect, it's time for you to step up to the plate and start offering more. Offer more to people out there. There's so many people out there that would love to get into smithing, would love to be able to forge your top-end tooling, but they just can't. They can't. And then it forces them to buy the cheapest thing they can find. It is. There's always going to be that guy out there, the jackwagon, that says, I can make that for $5 in my mother's basement. And I bet you he can. In his Cheeto-stained T-shirt, wearing his Batman undies, making that comment. And he has no reality of what it actually costs. You know, yeah, your welding rod didn't cost you anything. Oh, and your welding machine didn't cost you anything. Oh, and and the trip to the steel yard didn't cost you anything. And so obviously that costs money. But the giants of old, unfortunately, they've gotten too fat with being the only game in town. We're the only game in town, so we can charge what we got. So we can charge what we want to charge. And that's the way it's been, and it's been that way far too long. And a lot of things now with technology the way it is, and accessibility has never been more than what it has been now, that is changing on you. So I would love to see the big manufacturers that you hear out there all the time find ways of not making cheap knockoff junk, but making the craft more accessible, where not everything, every time you flop open your pocketbook, it's a $600 bill, or it's a $700 or a $1,000 or a freaking $20,000 bill every time you flop open your pocketbook to get something. So that's what turns people off, or it turns people into making janky little things, and it does.
Iron Ivy Forge, thank you for the support, and we appreciate having you as a member.
Thank you, Iron Ivy Forge. Greatly appreciate that. So yeah. So I look forward to shaking it up a bit. I by no means will be a monopoly on the whole industry. I'm sure there'll be others that'll come along and try to get into doing more stuff. You know what I mean? Getting in and doing things in the craft. I'm sure there'll be plenty of people who want to do that, and go support them, help them grow their businesses, so hopefully they can shake up the industry too. That's what we need. We need the big guys to come back to the earth a little bit, and we need new competition to come in and innovate a little bit, right? Make it not so stagnant. Give some options out there. And as everybody knows, I am not a person for there is a right or wrong tool. They're just tools. That's it.
Thomas said, you're not ragging on his, are you, LOL?
Nope, I'm not ragging on anybody's. So, you have to get into it where you can get into it. And that's where it's at. So, like, these like Achio anvils, I get asked about these all the time. Are they great anvils? they're great according to price per pound. For what you get a lot of value for the money. Are they better than a petting house? Absolutely not. Are they better than a Holland anvil? Absolutely not. They're just not. They're not even in the same, they're not even cousins. Do you get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Second cousins, 3 times, or a cousin 3 times removed by a marriage on the mother's side of an earl somewhere. They're not even in the same realm. They're not in the same playing field or neighborhood. Does that mean you can't smith on one? No, absolutely not. You can smith all day on one of these things. Can you get your started on one of these at Child's? Yep, you sure can, right? But if you're asking, if you're weighing out the odds, should I go with a Holland anvil or should I go with a Chayo? Well, if you got the money for a Holland, you should probably go with the Holland. I mean, to me, that's a no-brainer, right? It's like, my great-granddaddy wants to give me a Ferrari or a heater with a beater. There shouldn't even be a question, right? You'd be like, Ferrari me, right? And then you'll go get whatever else you want, right? So that's the point about tools, right? It's a good serviceable tool. It's a cheaply made tool. So therefore, it has all the imperfections and all of the issues that you're going to have that you won't find with a brand spanking new tool. And I'm only using Holland as an example here because Holland supported this channel a lot and they put out some really great quality tools. That's why I'm mentioning them. They put out some really great quality tools. And so judge a tool based upon its characteristics and based upon how it fits in your price budget and how much does that tool help you get to smithing. That's what we're all here for. You know, the Mr. Volcano gas forge. I've made reviews on it. I think the Mr. Volcano gas forge is a great little gas forge for the price. If it was any higher, I would say stay away. It's not really worth any higher of a price in my opinion. And the only reason why that is because the whole liner situation just sucks. That's there's a quick hot take. The liner situation of the Mr. Volcano gas forge, they need to refigure something out on that, okay? Because it's just the way it is. The spot welds for the collar for the burner, they're highly inadequate. They're highly inadequate. And like I said, this will go into my full review when I come up for an update video. But again, it gets you with a kit into the deal, getting to heating some metal for $88 or $100 or whatever it's selling for at that point in time. And when I first started in blacksmithing, dude, gas forges were a white whale. Mm-hmm. You just didn't have them. Professional shops had gas forges. Home hobbyists, not happening, because a gas forge was $1,200 minimum. You could get one used that looks really, really rough for maybe $600, but you weren't coming anywhere close to what gas forges are now and what's out there. So for $88 and you got a gas forge and it's heating, you're heating and beating some material. It is what it is. If it falls apart on you in a year, it's going to fall apart on you in a year. It's $88. It's not a $2,000 gas forge. So that is something to keep in mind when you're out there tool buying. So if you're out there if you're buying a tool from me, if you know something that's entry level or something that's full-fledged professional quality, or you're buying a tool from somebody else, these are all things that are on to you, the consumer, you, the blacksmith, to decide how close will this take me to my goals in forging, right? That's the main thing. That's what we should all be focused on. All manufacturers should be focused on getting more people into this great craft of blacksmithing. That's my own personal take on it. If you're not focused on that, if you're just focused on numbers or the who done it or who did what where and how and overseas this, that, what have you, you're focusing on the wrong thing. Focus on the consumer. Focus on how can I get more people to enjoy this great craft. How can I get more people engaged? You do that, you'll have a business for the centuries. And that's what I plan on doing with my own business. Because I just enjoy making cool stuff, having the ability to do so, and sharing that ability with others. So,
Joshua Rivas says, I'm looking forward to seeing your forges.
well, good. She's so quiet over there. She's like, I was ready to give up. Look at Mario. Will you shut up, Roy?
Possum Sausage says, I wanted to donate a pair of tongs each month for the giveaway. Maybe we could do this type of setup so the winner can tell me what size tongs they could use and I can ship them direct.
Okay, we can do that, Possum Sausage. The only thing I'm going to need from you though is like an actual photograph or something that we can,
That would
like
help.
of the style of the thing that we're giving away. Otherwise, it's just kind of like airballing the whole thing.
Yeah, they know they're getting
We go to some guy somewhere on the internet
You're
wants to
getting a
give you something. Now give us your information so we can give it to some rando
Just
guy
that,
on
should
the
it be
internet.
a self-portrait of
So-
him holding the tongs?
Yeah, a self-portrait of you, proud maker of said tongs, or something like that. That way we can have a stand-in when we go and give something away. I would love that. That would be awesome. So thank you.
Very cool. Melissa Wilson says, I am in the process of rebuilding my shop. Hopefully concrete will be poured in a few weeks.
Awesome. Awesome. I hope that goes well for you. Then the wait starts. That's so irritating. I've had to wait on concrete to cure in my old shop. It's like, but I want to go on it. I want to put tools up there. It's like, no, you have to wait.
Especially in the winter.
Yeah, you got to wait for that cure time, man. That's a killer. That's the biggest killer. You're gonna struggle with that one. I'll be praying for your sanity during that time. As you go in and you just flip on the light to look at it. Oh, I could put tools in here. Click. Go back inside. Oh.
He says, I can send a generic photo, but I'd make the tongs after the stream to what the winner wants.
Yeah, no, that makes total sense. Like I said, a generic photo of the tongs in question. There you go.
Debaka says, LOL, great idea. Possum, pose the tongs on while a toilet.
Oh, no.
No.
Make some toilet
good.
tongs. What else? You're not reading out loud there, girl.
Sorry, I was trying to register what he's saying. Down Under Farm and Forge. Hey Keith, with that offer, I will buy a set off of you to help with the postage. Okay, he's talking directly to him.
He's talking
trying to figure out what he was saying.
All right. Well, everybody can chat amongst yourselves. How it comes to that. So, I'm going to call it quits for this evening on this live stream. Thank you, everybody. Thank you, every single last one of you who have come to this stream and have watched and have been so giving and supportive. And I greatly appreciate each and every last one of you. Thank you to everybody who contributed to this. Thank you to Beasler Blacksmith for sending this cross-peen hammer over. I will make sure that we give this away in the next month's live stream. We'll be giving away this awesome hammer made by that. Once I can properly give it the credit that it's due out there on the interwebs. So thank you for that. And yeah, without any further ado, I'm going to turn you over to Jess, and I look forward to catching you all on our next live stream. And that will be when, Jessica, in February?
To be decided?
To be decided. It'll be to be decided in February. But
You're on the edge of your seats,
when
I know.
she has that figured out, it will be posted. Will it not?
That's correct.
Yep. We will do a little community post or something about it and let you all know when it'll be.
Yep, that's right.
Sound good?
Yes, it is. And yes, Black Collar, I do have a poem.
Yeah. So, all right. So Jess is going to lead us out with a poem. Thank you all so much for being here. Thank you for all the support. God bless each and every last one of you in your forges. And we'll catch you next time. Bye.
This poem is called Little Makes the Great. Little rills make wider streamlets. Streamlets swell, the rivers flow. Rivers join the ocean billows. Onward, onward as they go. Life is made of smallest fragments. Shade and sunshine, work and play. So may we with greatest profit learn a little every day. Tiny seeds make boundless harvest. Drops of rain compose the showers. Seconds make the flying minutes, and the minutes make the hours. Let us hasten then and catch them as they pass us on the way, and with honest, true endeavor, learn a little every day. Everybody have a good evening and a great weekend. Bye-bye.